Should be an absolute cracker here this afternoon, thanks to Apco Cafe 24/7. It is a big one, and they don't like each other, and they haven't since 1973. Anybody who knows the history knows why they don't like each other. St Mary's and St Joseph's. Crowd just making their way off the ground. Sun is shining here at Anthony Costa Oval. We are good to go. Thumbs up for the umpires, thumbs up from the captains, and let's get this one underway. Harvey Norman first quarter. Harvey Norman, think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices. St Joseph's and St Mary's, it is ideal, Nico. And we are underway. Here's Jason Doherty on K-Rock Football.
So umpire Jones, ball in hand, puts it in the air for Nick Knott. Sharp gets it down first towards Gow. He ends up losing the football and having to put the tackle on. He and Haynes are in there. And they do put that tackle on for St Joey's, so we're going to have a secondary bounce. Jack Blood getting up, handing the ball back to umpire Jones. Puts it down again, Knott gives it away. Algarinos through the middle, he can't take it. Benson held on too, he can't get it either. Rugby scrums in there, Sharp puts a tackle on this time. The umpire leaving it for a very long time. He's going to come in. And we're going to have a third bounce, just forward to the centre circle for St Joey's. Kicking to the northern end in this first term. Ball up again. Sharp gets a secondary, tap to it. Falls towards Blood, tried to get to Benson. The umpire said it was a throw. And St Joey's have played advantage as well, and they're going forward, deep forward with the kick. Over the back, no mark taken. And St Mary's off the front of the pack might be able to bring it away. They can't. Humphrey turns around. His handball was okay in the end. It looked indiscriminate, but set his teammate up in the end. And it's going to be holding the ball as well. Darcy Churgwin back off the wing will take the free kick for St Mary's deep back.
Mitchell very stiff there. Gee, didn't have a lot of time to dispose of the footy, but the umpire paying Churgwin the free kick. Our Leopold Sporties player of the day back in round 4 against South Barwon. Goes wide looking for Blood. Blood a handball over the top to a runner, tucking it under the arm and showing some speed is Harry Cole. Cole runs his full measure. Gee, ran a long way, and then he drives a kick into the left forward pocket, looking for a fly from Lang. Can't mark. It's off the hands of the pack and out of bounds in front of the old Geelong pass players stand that has got a full house sign in the left forward pocket. Good to see it was repurposed in the redevelopment of, well, the many redevelopments of GMHBA Stadium. We'll get some Wombat Gully Plant Farm matchups in a moment from Matt Kershaw, keeping an eye on those this afternoon. Wombat Gully Plant Farm, of course, 201 Townsend Road in Moolap. Ball back into play. It's a shallow throw in. Now, there's been a whistle on the play. Which way is it going? It's a free kick at the front of the contest, and it's going to go to Sharp. He gives a handball off to Webb in the right back pocket, and St Joey's will look to clear to the outer side.
Goes towards centre wing with a kick. Humphrey from 3 deep. Couldn't take the mark off hands. They keep it in Mullen. He was pretty close to it. He couldn't in the end. Ran out of room, and on centre wing, we will have a boundary throw in. No score yet this afternoon. 2.5 played. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock this afternoon here at Anthony Costa Oval. Boundary throw in. Favours Knott. Gets it down to Benson. Got it towards Blood. He got it back towards Algarinos. Oh, that's a good tackle. As the umpire said, yes, play on advantage. It's going to go now through Al Hickey. Tumbling punt towards half forward. Goes at the back. Humphrey has to put on a tackle. He did so. Ball spills free. Was it? The umpire said it was a push in the back in the end. And St Mary's will take the free kick. So it's going to be able to settle the play down. Short little kick towards Benson. Picks it up on the half volley. They can run through. Handball came, and that came back from Harry Ling. Handball over the top, back towards Benson. Still at centre half back. Now Ling. Handball, shuffles it out wider. Going to be okay. Travellini gets it over the top as well. Now they go quickly through Arkarachi towards centre half forward. Luke Webb pulls in the Hamlin hanger one-hander and moves it quickly towards Heinz.
Heinz has got it on the scoreboard wing out of sight of the ground. His kick on the bounce is okay for Mentha. Mentha will run to 45. Steady. Send the kick towards goal, and he's made an absolute meal of it. And he's hit the smallest behind post in the world at the very top of it. The padding on the behind post covers 2/3 of it. I've never seen them any smaller. And it's out of bounds on the full. It'll be a free kick in the left back pocket to McMullen, who will look to relieve the situation for St Mary. So no score through the opening 3 3/4 minutes in this opening term, thanks to Harvey Norman. Kick very, very wide. Hickey will pick it off and take the mark for St Joseph's. The skipper, that's Al Hickey. Brother James out there as well. He's a long way from home, but the breeze not really impacting the contest, you wouldn't think. They fly for the mark, front of the pack. Connors dragged down without the footy. Umpire said play on. He might get a free kick for a push in the back in the end. It should have been a free kick to start off with to the 2019 Grand Final hero, and he'll take it about 15 from his defensive goal.
So Connors called to play on now. Goes laterally into the back pocket. Travellini takes the mark.
Where does Travellini's sock stop and his boot start?
It's got the old, looks like they're the old-fashioned. He goes now along the line. High kick towards half back. Sharp against Knott. Both get a hand to it. Off the back, Benson. Ball spills free. He tracks it back towards centre wing. Tried to not give away the free kick and did so. Close to the boundary line. And Arkarachi sees it over. Centre wing, boundary throw in. And we've played 5 minutes first term. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock, no score.
Just a rotation city then, boys. We're all swapped on the opportunity here on this side of the ground.
Boundary throw in. So we've just seen the umpire just holding play, and it might be a blood rule. And gee, it is a serious blood rule, and it's Harry Ling coming to the boundary. Yeah, he's got left neck. Just keep an eye on that. Chris Nichols for St John of God. Yeah, he's bleeding profusely there, Harry Ling. We'll keep an eye on that one, and hopefully he's back out in the field of play. Very handy down back. Boundary throw in. Just forward of the wing favouring St Joseph's. Not front position. Will win the tap down towards Benson, although Alderton might be keeping him company for Wombat Gully Plant Farm at the moment, and that might be a sling tackle that is laid against Gow on. Not Jeezy strong Paddy Gow. Or James Gow, rather, I should say. And the free kick goes to Knott. Now, he's mishit the kick to half forward, although it's going to work out okay, and lands on the chest of Harry McMahon. Down on the mark, stands about 60 from goal, kicking to the swimming pool end. Just sets it up into the pocket. Where's Dowling? Where's Lang? Big pack, no mark taken. Front of the pack. Oh, gee, taken high. Free kick. Heinz might have been on Dowling in the right forward pocket. Now we've got the push and shove. There hasn't been much heat in this one, as we usually get in a Joey's-Mary's clash, but it's going to be a free kick to Dowling in the right forward pocket in front of the Don Matheson Pavilion, which will suit his left boot.
And Maloney's not playing, that's why.
Great crowd here again, boys. Sunday footy, we love it.
Absolutely. We'll be back here next Sunday too. Early start, 1:10 bounce. 12 o'clock on air for St Mary's and Geelong West, and that game's already going to gain some traction based on what St Mary's West produced yesterday in Colac. Dowling, who's had a wonderful season. Man on the mark. 40, make it 35 from goal. Dowling sets it across the face of goal. It'll be marked, I reckon, as Lang grabbed it in the pocket. He has. He was in a pack of 4 or 5, and he somehow clutched onto that and taken the mark. In fact, it's Lockie Peck, I reckon.
Good day by all the boys.
That's a great grab by Peck.
Gee, Kirsch, the coach won't be happy about that.
Hey.
Was able to kill the contest. Steps out, snaps, and has missed everything. That's a disappointing finish. The mark not rewarded with a finish, and we are still scoreless through 7 minutes.
We are.
So Oscar Morrison, back pocket, free kick for St Joey's. And come down the line towards half-back. Sharp against Knott. Sharp not in front. No, ball spilt free. Orgarinos, handball. Only as far in the end as St Joey's to go towards the Grandy at centre wing. And he can't keep it in. So boundary throw in now for Knott and Sharp to come down. As we said, no score yet. 7.5 played. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. Knott gets his left hand to it. And Sherman got it back towards Knott. Got a kick around the corner towards Webb, who had some support in Humphrey. He goes towards the brother. He goes up, can't take the mark. He handballs to nobody in particular. Jasker gets across there and got worried out of it in the end by Hennessy. And there'll be a boundary throw in left half forward. St Joey's into attack.
Nico, for those watching the AFL Bar on Facebook live stream, that is not Angus Humphrey's normal hair colour, is it?
No, it's not. It's Marshall Mathers III, Eminem.
Tap down, front of the pack. Sherman, the roving, got a handball away. Gow was there for St Joseph's, went off the ground, bought about 10 metres for his team, but back with it, Travellini. Oh, the wonderful handball on the up. Comes towards a teammate, and the quick snap to Anna Hennessy, but the handball on the up was absolutely outstanding out of the pack. Might have been Mullen flicking it up, but the finish was from Hennessy, and it was classy, and he kicks the first of the afternoon, and there's a bit going on behind the footy.
There is.
O'Dwyer's involved, Dowling's involved. Harry Smith just coming down. Gee, a Smith that doesn't mind a little bit of push and shove. That wouldn't be something I haven't seen before on a GFL field. 1 straight 6 in Joey's. They draw first blood. St Mary's yet to score. The finish from Hennessy was classy, but the handball out of the pack was sublime. Not sure who fired it out. It was in a pack of players.
I've got no vision there of the left-hand pocket.
Well, you have. It's a blue wall.
It's a blue wall. Interesting, Dowling started deep on O'Dwyer and then pushed right up the ground. Now Harry Smith's having to take him up the ground, and Lang's deep on Joel O'Dwyer at the moment.
So back to the middle. Sharp goes up, gets it down over the top of Knott. Rayner comes off the wing, tracks it, can't pick it up though. Alderton had it, lost it. It's at half 40, tries to get it back. He's over the top of it. He's going to have to be careful here, the umpire. who come in and ball it up, point of the centre square at half forward for St Joey's.
Looks like Akarachi's playing a bit of a defensive role on Luke Webb as well and trying to really upset him and just niggle him. Webby won't mind that, though.
Not gets it down towards Sherman. Algarinos over the top. And does well. Extricates himself at half-back and goes across the face, across towards centre wing. McMahon to get out there first. And he can wheel around on that right foot and come back towards half forward. Kick, missed the target though, still in the middle of the ground. Sharp, he can't get around. Handball from Harry McMahon straight to Blood, the two number 6s, Hennessy. He got the kick away though, Blood towards towards centre wing. Ball over the top. And St Mary's working hard in the phone box. Troublini got the handball away, but they couldn't get it any further, and St Joey's collapsed there defensively and did well to hold them up, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
Boys, I've just got Paddy Keller here. Geez, plenty of heat in this game so far, mate.
Yeah, mate, the heat's on. It's always good playing these boys, so yeah, it's definitely hot out there.
Thanks for your time, mate. All the best.
Tapped down by Knott to the front of the pack. There's a bunch of players. Sherman's at the bottom of it, and we'll get a ball up just forward to centre wing now. Another push and shove, Sharp and Blood into each other, and this is the way we like it. St Joey, St Mary's clash. Bit of niggle, umpire into the edge. Either throw up was skew whiff. It favoured Knott. It was dumped by Sharp. That should have been a sling tackle, and it has been paid that way. But Sharp making Knott earn it, and now Blood and Alderton come together, and it's going to come back.
Mr. John Harrison Ling's fine, mate. He's right to come back on.
Good.
Extra number in that last stoppage, St Mary's.
Long ball from Knott, looking for a marking option. Front of the pack, the roving done by Harry Cole. Jams it on the boot, puts it inside to forward 50, but the defensive mark taken by Oscar Morrison for St Joseph's. About 15 from his defensive goal. Call to play on. He wants the corridor with a well-weighted kick to Antonak, and he's still inside defensive 50, and they'll have to just... Australia 2 tack up the ground. He gives a handball back to Morrison, sweeping by like something he sees, and hitting him up on the lead is Mitchell. Got it just back of the wing out of side.
He goes with the right foot kick quickly towards half forward over the head of Mullen. It was a good take too. He read it nicely. Plays on. They want to move the ball inside 50 quickly. Goes towards Humphrey. He can't pick it up. Rayner wrapped up too high, said the umpire. And 50 as well. He motioned 50, and it is 50. So I think coming in late there was Mentha, and the umpire Zarb will bring them right down to the middle of Anthony Costa Oval, and the free kick is with Rayner. To move it now with the right foot towards half forward. Lead on Dowling, gets out there, picks it up on the half volley, tried to wheel around Smith. Blind turned himself, got the kick around the corner, close to the boundary line. Can they keep it in? James Hickey for St Joey's around the corner and with the right foot and way too wide. Out of bounds for a throw in for a free kick left half forward. So St Mary's got to get it back into attack. Joey's 1 straight 6. St Mary's yet to score. 12.5 played first term on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock.
Just waiting for the ball to find its way back. I think Paddy Dowling with the resultant free kick. Man on the mark will stand about 55 from goal. Joey's have been able to roll numbers back and fill any gaps inside forward 50. Now he looks for a marking target. It's a wonderfully way to kick onto the chest of Akarachi. Now I wouldn't be surprised if Akarachi's taken the opportunity there with Webb probably positioning himself somewhere to cut off a Lang type lead or a Peck lead, and Akarachi said, well, I'll make myself dangerous here.
Well, they did. They've set up in a zone defence, but unfortunately you need a bit of touch sometimes when the lead's coming on.
And especially with a bit of a break in the game then for that to happen.
Well, it shouldn't happen really.
That's right.
Plenty of numbers back. Plenty of numbers in the hole.
For St Mary's first of the afternoon, and to tie the scores, the former North Shore and Bell Park player, Jono Akarachi, and he goes to Webb too and gives him a shove and says, you paid me no respect, and I'm going to kick a goal on you, and I'm going to tie the score at 1 straight 6 apiece in this opening term of K-Rock football, thanks to Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices.
Certainly sets it up for an enticing head-to-head for the rest of the day with Webb and Akarachi, doesn't it? But yeah, you're right. I mean, there was enough time there to defend that ball. That should have just been a high ball in a defensive hit rather than a hit-up lead, and that should not have happened.
Game 69 at GFL senior level for Jono Akarachi. Goal number 24, an important one. Gee, it'd be a while since St Mary's have been held scoreless for 14 minutes in recent years.
It would be.
I think you're going to find after a goal or something there's going to be plenty of back and forth between the players, Kingy.
A little bit of niggle coming out at Peck, gets it down and a kick around the corner came from Harry Cole, who's having a run in the middle, and he gets it to Sherman, goes long, inside 50, Dowling comes out, can't take the mark, falls towards Loftus, who runs on, 40 out, right foot kick, and he's missed it. That would have been a great start in St Mary's career.
First kick in GFL footy would have been a goal.
He's kicked it through for one behind, so 1-1-7 the home side, St Joey's won straight 6.
He's a good size, Loftus.
He is, isn't he?
Very Sam Clavesi-like. There you go. He's away he moves. 6'5".
6'5".
Certainly taller than Luke Rayner, that's
He
for
is
sure.
a lot taller than Luke Rayner.
They've got it to half back here. St Joseph's and a well-weighted kick is marked by Gow in front of a good crowd in front of the Dom Matheson Pavilion at left half back. Henderson Birch is an option short. Ignores that. Kicks longer to a one-on-one. Mitchell's there. Knocked it away from McMullen. Ball hit the deck. Clean hands, Callagher. Mentha sees Hennessy inside forward 50. Foot race, Hennessy and Ling.
Shocking
The
bounce,
bounce
wasn't
got
it?
away from Hennessy and Ling had time to come and pick up the footy and lost it in the Hennessy tackle. Chance now, though, for Loftus defensively. He couldn't take it cleanly. Mentha's got a shot at goal. Mentha has pushed it across the face and through for a behind, and we're tied up again at 1-1-7 apiece. 15 minutes gone, opening term. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. Port Phillip Ferries, there's no better way to travel. And it's an entertaining opening. It's not high scoring, but geez, you can't turn your eye away from a moment from a St Joseph St Mary's clash.
So Ling plays on from full-back. Gains 15, goes long towards Knott. Webb against him, put a hand up and took the mark and played on. Oh, that was a mark, the umpire said. Play on, it goes back to the top of the square. Oh, Mitchell can't take the mark. And Ling defensively tries to get it away. They go close to the boundary line. Mullen can't take it. Ball, Pritchard's there as well for St Mary's. Humphrey on hands and knees. Loftus in there putting the tackle on. Ball spills free. Ling off a step. And St Mary's away now. Back towards half forward, but it's all St Joey's there. And taking the mark is Ben Clark.
Clark will send it inside forward 50, just sets it up to about 25 from goal. Asks Mitchell to come, run and mark. Takes a Hamlin hanger contender between two St Mary's players, is able to juggle it to ground and takes a good grab and a chance in game number 50 in the red, gold and black to go back and have a shot at goal and put Joey's back in front. He really attacked the footy with some vigour, Cal Mitchell, and takes a nice mark. A great Hamlin hanger contender.
And McMullen's got the job on him too, so he's very agile, as we know. Mitchell, he gets up the ground, he works really hard, so he's got his hands full today.
Cal Mitchell, just the 13 goals in his previous 49 games, has spent a bit of time in defence during his St Joseph's career, but now a permanent forward and kicking a goal. 2-1-13 St Joseph's, St Mary's on 1-1-7 at 17 minutes gone in this opening term. Harvey Norman first quarter K-Rock scoreboard. I think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices, and in the experts chair this afternoon here's Matty Kershaw.
What's been good about the ball going into their forward half at the moment is their forward pressure. They're not letting the ball out with easy exits, and they're making St Mary's work really hard, putting them under pressure. There were several tackles there to keep that ball inside forward 50. Then they had to bomb it out. There was a mark to Ben Clark and the kick back inside forward 50. But some work by Hennessy and Humphrey. They were really good in that forward pressure. Memphis had 2 shots on goal too once balls hit the ground, so he's dangerous around there. Just needs to reward himself a little bit.
Webby took that mark too, I think, boys.
Yeah, that was a mark. So back in the middle, Sharp back on the ground up against Knott. They both get a hand to it. Falls to Benson, runs on the outside, right foot kick, long, inside 50, coming out. Lang couldn't take it. Peck was there as well, umpire says. Free kick. And I think it's going to be against James Hickey.
It's just a bit sloppy.
And
Harry
McMahon's got it. So he's going to be shooting for goal from 30 out directly in front. This for the quick reply for the home side.
Just back within 30 seconds it was.
So he comes in now. Southern end of the ground, swimming pool end. And he has made the goal umpire work a bit, but has put it through. So his first of the afternoon, and the second for St Mary's, 2-1-13. And St Joey's 2-1-13, Harvey Norman, first quarter K-Rock scoreboard.
They attacked the ball pretty well in their forward 50 then, with Lang and Dowling both sitting here at the bench, just mixing it up a bit, taking their 2 best forwards off. But that centre clearance there, that was all craft work by Benson then. He pushed Alderton under the ball, got it on the outside of the stoppage and into the forward 50 really quick. Really hard to beat that.
Paddy Dowling straight back
In the middle.
And in the middle.
He's played up the ground. He's played up half forward. He started deep on O'Dwyer, then went straight up the half forward, and now he's gone in the middle.
He's a footballer.
Umpire tosses it into the air for Sharp and not Sharp, winning the tap this time. There's going to be a free kick. It's the non-controlling umpire paying a hold, and he's paying it to Brant Hines. I think it might be against Jack Blood. Hines with it just back of the centre circles to drive St Joseph's into attack, looking for Humphrey. That's Austin. He can't take the mark. Dowling doing the rove in front of the pack, shared it with Travellini. Travellini, he's going to ask a lot of Shergwin here under pressure from Antonak. Ball spills into the path of Mitchell. He can't take it cleanly. It's out of bounds just as Antonak was about to flee the scene with the footy, and we'll get a boundary throw in at left half forward. Right where the 50, or just the other side of where the 50 meets the boundary line. Boundary umpire will fling it back into play. Sharp and not winning the tap down this time. Al Hickey couldn't take it cleanly for St Joseph's. Blood took Antonak high. Antonak just rolled the shoulders on the tackle, and now it's on. Antonak didn't like that. Benson's involved, Blood's involved, and umpire Zarb's blowing the whistle, and it's a 50-metre penalty. So a 50-metre penalty will break things up, and this will be a certain goal for St Joey's, and there is nowhere you don't want to be looking right now because there's something going on everywhere.
Spitfires, we love it.
It was Jack Blood and Hainsey again, so there's something going on with those two. They gave away that free kick in the middle just prior to it.
Antonak drills the ball over the goal umpire's head into the signage, the KFC signage behind the goal here at Anthony Costa Oval. Luke Webb's come all the way from half back to get involved and just make sure that his presence felt. And it's 3-1-19 St Joseph's, 2-1-13 St Mary's, opening quarter of an entertaining clash between the arch rivals from Anthony Costa Oval on K-Rock Football, thanks to Wapco Cafe 24/7.
Well, Akarachi must be off the ground because that's why he needed to get involved somewhere else.
He is.
It's Niggle City down here, boys.
Harry McMahon's got the job on Luke Webb now with Akarachi off the ground, so... And he was, I think the St Mary's coaching staff and Luke Webb were waxing lyrical with each other too when he was close to the boundary line here too.
Interesting.
So back to the middle. Knott goes up early and gets it down beautifully. Algarinos tried to get it to Benson, goes towards half forward. Mullen can't take it with him for St Joey's. They fight hard for it. There was a drop of the ball there. The umpire said play on. Pack develops at half forward for St Joey's, and he might have to come in with a bit of work because that ball is in there and not coming out. Alderton on the bottom of the ground.
I'll tell you what, Kingy, it's not for the faint-hearted out there. They are going 110%, these boys.
This has got classic written all over it.
Oh, it already is.
So the ball, Knott tries to take it out of the ruck contest, goes towards Gow, got the kick out of the pack, goes towards Humphrey over his head. Hennessy tried to tap it onto himself in the end. He got wrapped up and he dropped the football. The umpire said, a hold. Oh, gee whiz. So I thought...
I thought the same.
I thought he was, a
little throw, a little drop.
Definitely dropped it.
Dropped the ball, but the umpire saw it the other way. And...
Tough kick.
St Joey's got the free kick.
And those flags on that crane up there, it looks like the wind might be behind him a little bit.
Yes, it is going towards the northern end.
Just picked up a little bit, boys, you're right.
And
he's threaded it.
The kick has come, and
it's a brilliant goal.
That is a great goal. Just trying to pick up who it was.
Hennessy.
Is it Hennessy again?
Ollie Hennessy. Yeah.
So that's his second. And a great finish from the right forward pocket by him. And for St Joey's, that's their fourth. They're 4-1-25. They lead St Mary's 2-1-13. Harvey Norman, K-Rock first quarter scoreboard.
Well, whoever's going to win that contested footy then was always going to have the advantage. And, I tell you what, they are putting their head over the pill to win that. There's no uncontested footy at the moment. Let's put it that way.
It's become a southeasterly, this breeze, so it is going to favour the northern end for, you would suspect, most of the afternoon. It's playing straight down the ground here at Anthony Costa Oval. Umpire Jones tosses it into the air. Knott and Sharp again. They nullify each other, and the ball comes down to Hines, who's taken in a good Benson tackle at the edge of the centre circles, just favouring Joey's. And we'll get a ball up. Hope you're enjoying the call through KROC 955, kroc.com.au, and the AFL Bar Facebook live stream. Roving by Algarinos from the Sharp tap. Algarinos for St Mary's. Kick out wide to Loftus in a foot race. Haven't caught a lot of Buckley today. Loftus was able to get a handball away on the bounce. Now Hickey will attack it. That's James for St Joseph's. He just steadies and kicks in board to Alderton. And the Shepherd and Swans recruit has got it just back of the wing. Alderton with the headband, driving it long towards right half for Jaska. Haven't called him today, but a good spoil onto Granny. But Hines did the roving, tried to put a handball out into the path of Hennessy, the two-time goal kicker early in this contest. It's going to come back and be a free kick, I suspect.
Yeah, hold.
And it might be going to Hennessy, who is causing all sorts of issues.
Lively, isn't he?
At the moment.
Early.
For St Mary's, for the Joey's team, he'll send it into attack.
He goes long to the top of the square. They line up off the front of the pack. Roved by Mullen. Got it towards Henderson Birch and turned around the corner, and the kick from Humphrey, and he's kicked the goal. So Austin Humphrey puts his first on the board. Front and centre was great. And he gets St Joey's fifth. They're 5-1-31. They lead St Mary's 2-1-13. Harvey Norman K-Rock first quarter scoreboard.
We mentioned before pre-game that they only concede 55 points. They've given up 31 already, and their backline's looking really shaky when that ball gets in there quick. And when the ball's on the ground, they're looking really, really vulnerable, I believe.
Yep, you're right, Kirsten. What I'm noticing is that St Joseph's seem to be holding the ball in that forward 50.
Nico, keep an eye on Heinz as well. I think he might have a quad injury. So he just came off the ground there limping with his left leg. So
Will do, mate. Yeah,
keep an eye on that.
Sure thing.
For St John of God, your emergency specialist now open 24/7 back in the middle. Tapped down by Sharp. Benson couldn't take it cleanly. Sharp dribbled it like a basketball, as you would expect from a Sharp. And then crunch. Is that Ryan who's dragged to ground? He was taken high, and Harvey Ryan, who we haven't called yet this afternoon, will take the resultant free kick just back of the centre circles. Son of Ambrose, former St Mary's player, kick towards half forward, and it's marked there by Knott. Knott gives a handball off to Benson. Benson, a driving kick to the pocket, and Lang on the juggle has taken the mark in front of Humphrey. And
That's elite.
It's like watching the AFL.
That's elite.
just the setup there in the drive.
You can't defend it, King.
Especially on a ground like St Mary's, that is very tough to defend.
Kingy, I'll just say that they were practising that pre-game, that exact move.
Well, you don't see a triangle getting done much in the game, do you?
Thank you, Kurt.
Coming off 6 goals last week, Tommy Lang. Not an easy kick. He'll be kicking into the teeth of the breeze. Might have to start at left goal post. Sends it on its way. That is not a bad effort. It's going to fade across the face, off hands and through for a behind. It's a minus score for St Mary's. And they are Archbishop Gisborne 2-2-14. May you rest in peace. And Joseph's a 5-1-31. The margin is 17 at the 23-minute mark on the Port Phillip Ferry time clock. Opening quarter of K-Rock football.
So Luke Webb with the kicking in duties as always. Gets a dozen possessions each game by playing on. Gets another one now. Goes long with the kick. Looking for De Grande. Not against him. And goes to the front. Gow got one high. Umpire said play on. Kick out of the pack by McMahon. Goes towards half forward. Dowling across 50. Look at the kick. He spares it. If you don't mind. And Loftus is standing in the right spot and takes the mark and will shoot for goal from 40 out directly in front.
That's class.
That's just class. That is just class. I mean, Gow was stiff. He got his head taken off just prior to it, but that is just class.
For St John of God, Kingy, bad corky for Brent Hates.
I think we might see a few of them the way they're going today, the players.
Yes. So
Will he be back?
Not. Loftus comes in, 40 out. Oh, he's kicked in the man on the mark, so he went too close. His handball, though, back to Orgarinos. Left foot kick around the corner. Deep forward, big pack there, front of it. Arkarachi can't pick it up. Now the ball, still in dispute. Humphrey over the top of it as well. Ball spills free. Sherman through traffic, right foot kick, kicks the goal. Just opened up for him. He was like Moses and he kicked the goal. So Zach Sherman gets one for St Mary's. And that is their third. They go to 3-2-20. And St Joey's 5-1-31. Harvey Norman, K-Rock, first quarter scoreboard. Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all your big brands. At Geelong's best prices. Here's Kirsch.
Well, it was a return serve. They St Mary's put the pressure back on the St Joseph's back line, and they looked vulnerable then when the ball was A in the air, B on the lead, and C on the ground. So both back lines a little bit vulnerable with ball going in there really quick.
Against the flow of play a little bit too, that goal.
Yep, it was. But just some really elite footwork there, wasn't it, going in their forward half.
Back in the middle. And the ruckman again nullify each other. Sharp nearly does the roving, left it behind, Alden and barged through, but left the ball behind. Orgarinos jammed it on his left boot, put it inside, forward 50 for St Mary's. Well trapped there by Morrison for St Joseph's. Brings it broadcast side. Kick though, wonderful pick up by Damien McMahon off his bootlaces. That's a good little mark, that. Nearly half volleyed it, but he took the mark, drove the kick into the pocket. Dowling in a one-on-one, couldn't mark. Knocked away there by Harry Smith, going off the footy. And now Harry Smith comes at Dowling, and there'll be a free kick, and she's on. Arkarachi, Humphrey, St Joseph's and St Mary's at their fiercest at the moment. There's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of them in front of the Don Matheson Pavilion. Harry Smith especially wanted to go hard at Dowling.
He did, didn't he?
And
he got a 50 out of it.
There's going to be a free kick and a 50, and this has got a little bit of heat in it. And I suspect that the umpires will be making some notes for the match review panel to have a look tomorrow at. So Dowling's going to be marched all the way to the goal square.
Oh, hang on, this is interesting because umpire Zarb called a 50 this way against St Mary's, and now he's making it that way.
Now the umpire Jones said, come over here, I want to have a chat about it.
Yeah, right. So the umpires are a bit betwixt and between. Hopefully they don't lose control of this. But umpire Zarb is adamant that it's a 50-metre penalty. He might have just pointed the wrong way.
Yeah,
umpire Zarb in all the confusion. And Dowling, with nobody on the marks, banged it into the netting behind the goals. And then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of his teammates all run to him in a real show of strength from the men in navy blue and green. The margin is back to 5. 4-2, 26 St Mary's. 5-1, 31 St Joseph's. Where else would you rather be than at Anthony Costa Oval right now?
Well, I don't even know what to assess in that goal. It was just all happening.
Blood rule here too.
Yep. Smith, I think.
Yep.
I can't even remember what the original free kick was. It was...
I know, but Harrison Smith got
Dowling
one.
was taken high.
Yeah, high. Yeah. And then...
Then Harrison told him all about it.
Yeah.
Somebody told Harrison Smith all about it.
That's right.
Well,
It's not even a quarter old. It's had everything this game.
it has had everything.
Let's go, Maxie!
This is back to the glory days. Sunday afternoon football
At its best.
at Anthony Costa
At its
Oval.
best.
And we're right next to the St Mary's box, and they're up and going. Not gets it down, Alderton. He can't take it with him. Gow went right, went left, got the handball out towards Buckley, runs off the wing, back to half-back, under pressure in the phone box, gets the handball away, still under pressure. St Mary's across half forward. Oh, look at the tackle, great tackle. And the umpire says play on. Ball spills free again. And still under pressure, Buckley tried to break free, got the handball away. St Joey's kick was partly smothered, got it back towards half-back. Antonak got a couple on him. And I think that's a hold. The umpire says it will be a free kick to St Mary's. And Orgarinos gives it away quickly. They go. Kick quickly from Pritchard inside 50. Oh, getting back there is Eminem. And Angus Humphrey takes the mark.
I reckon he got a little just tap to the breadbasket, Max Orgarinos, as Humphrey brings it towards half-back. Austin Humphrey to fly, can't mark. It's knocked away by McMullen, but Austin Humphrey found the loose footy. Bouncing ball, waiting for it was Mullen. Gave away a free kick on Connors. No umpire didn't see it that way. Hickey on hands and knees. Ryan in there for St Mary's. Knocked away out. Good play, Alderton. Now Hickey just kicks for space. It's a rolling ball, but there's numbers back there. Rayner for St Mary's. Time to find the footy. Share it with Travellini. Travellini with the outside of the right boot. Towards half-back. Looking. Oh, blood got collared by Gow. The old-fashioned ear massage from James Gow and Jack Blood. That's the old, I've got a chance to make you earn it without there being too much retribution. And Jack Blood's got it inside defensive 50, the skipper of the Saints.
And he goes towards centre wing with the kick. Pack develops off the back. Loftus, can he keep it in front? He tried to, he did. Racehorse, he goes. 1 bounce, 2 bounce. He's got to make a goal from this. Lammy's Tavern goal of the day. Kane Loftus has kicked it for St Mary's, and it gives them the lead as well. Great finish by the youngster. His first of the afternoon. And St Mary's 5-2-32. They lead St Joey's 5-1-31. Harvey Norman, K-Rock, first quarter scoreboard.
Well, it was smart too, because he didn't fly with the rest of the pack. All the players went up and he stayed down and collected the ball on centre wing, and away he went, like off to the races. It was a great finish after he's sprayed a couple already. So
if St Joseph's first quarter last week was the best team first quarter we've seen, this is the best match quarter we've seen.
100%. It's got everything.
For St John of God, Brand Hates is back on, and with that Corky.
All right, Harry Smith getting some work done there by head trainer Andy Cram from St Joseph's. Tapped down by Knott. Gow does the roving low for St Joseph's. Kick was partially smothered, rolled about 15 metres. Mentha one way, coming the other way. Churgon kept his head over the footy, fed a handball to Orgarinos. Orgarinos comes wide, wanting Harry McMahon in a one-on-one. There with him is Ben Clark. Clark did well, got rid of Harry McMahon, and then a handball to Hickey. Ryan's tackle was good. Then he came and found the footy again. Oh, crunch. Benson on Hickey. Sees him out of bounds, and there'll be a boundary throw-in. Mentha didn't like the attack of Benson on Hickey, and it's going to be a boundary throw-in. Al Hickey, of course, playing, as we know, he is deaf and he plays without his hearing aid, so he doesn't hear everything going on. That match-up for Wombat Gully Plant Farm, a good one at the moment. Hickey and Benson.
Nice, isn't it?
Ball back into play, Knott and Sharp, and that is quarter time. What a quarter of footy. One of the best of season 2022 in the Blood Toyota GFL. It's St Mary's 5-2.
Back under wraps and settles the quickest and settles the best will obviously get the advantage here. I reckon Joey's just probably have to stay focused a little bit now and make sure they get back to playing the game of footy that they got themselves 2.5 goals in front on. So that'll be definitely who settles first.
All right, so the breeze is blowing to the northern end of the ground. It'll be interesting to see whether they put one behind the footy, Nico.
It's picked up. Certainly has. Kicking to the city end, mate.
Thank
Yeah,
you
it'll be
for that.
interesting to see. I don't think they'll start with it, Kingy, but yeah, definitely consideration if they kick the first couple, isn't it? So
Cal Mitchell's probably the ideal player.
he would be the one to go back, and then you'd probably make Webb the +1 and Mitchell take a man.
Just waiting for the three people who are here keen to get off the ground.
Yeah, Sunday footy in the GFL.
that doesn't work.
Well, apparently it won't work. No.
Mandate it, for
Yeah.
goodness sake, every Sunday.
Yeah, and like this was forced upon us because of the Cats being. But
just do it.
there's a great crowd here. Look, it is first versus fourth, arch rivalry, but there is a great crowd here, and I expect there'll be a great one next Sunday for St Mary's and West.
Greg Mallows here watching St Mary's.
Second quarter for APCO Cafe 24/7, and here's Jason.
Not gets it down, and Blood runs straight to it and gets it from the middle, goes long, inside 50, coming out. Peck couldn't take the mark. Humphrey right next to him. Eminem gets it in the middle, goes towards the brother. He can't pick it up, and St Mary's get across there to wrap the play up right in the middle. The ball spills free though. Orgarinos is there. Humphrey as well, right on the cricket pitch area. Humphrey puts another tackle on. The umpire will come in, and nearly back to whence we started, just forward of the centre circle for St Joey's, kicking to the southern end, swimming pool end of this second term. Ball up, Knott takes it out of the ruck contest, gets it towards Cole, who can run on inside 50 now with the kick. Dowling got one hand up, couldn't take the mark though. Joey's across the half-back line. Al Hickey's handball didn't get to Smith. Pack develops right half forward, and Lang putting the tackle on for St Mary's. Ball still in there. Arkarachi got it out in the end, and they go inside 50, but St Joey's get across there, and the mark taken by O'Dwyer.
Yarrawonga Products got it. Left back pocket. Long way from home, though. St Mary's kicking with the aid of the breeze, so have to be careful coming out. He just sets it up towards left half back, and coming up and marking on the chest is not judging it well for St Mary's, and he'll send the Saints back inside forward 50 after giving a handball to Orgarinos. A floater. It's not a great kick, and Webb. Gee, judged. He's got great hands, Luke Webb. Judged the flight of the ball nicely, and he goes into the right back pocket to Callagher. Callagher with the footy, just making that wing his own throughout season 2022. He's been in good form. Paddy Callagher been solid for the Joeys. Kicks towards half, back to a one-on-one. Damien McMahon outpointed Al Hickey cold there. Took a good mark and then hit the ground running. And outside of the right boot kick, looking for Dowling. No mark taken. Cole was there as well. Front of the pack, Arkarachi gave it to Dowling. Dowling fired a handball away that was stolen by Callagher. Jammed it on the boot to left half back.
He goes out there looking for Mentha, but getting there first. Pritchard. Mentha, can he keep it in? He can. Got it around. Can he get around Pritchard? Oh, he ran out of room in the end. He was away too. The boundary umpire says it's out of bounds, and we will have a throw in. Right,
Darcy Churgwin for St John of God's rolled his ankle. He's come off a little bit distressed, the boy.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that. Thanks for that, Nico. St John of God, your emergency specialist, open 24/7. The ball, free kick for a push, said the umpire. And I think it's going to go to St Joey's. It is in the ruck contest, Sharp. So he gives it away by hand, and they go long through Buckley towards centre wing. Oh, that's a good grab. Mitchell does nicely, wants to move it quickly.
He does. 75 from goal, drives it long, looking for Humphrey. It's a 2-on-1. Damien McMahon got back there to help out his defensive counterparts. Pritchard is there. Chance now to get out of trouble. Travellini's handball intended for Loftus didn't get to him before it went out of bounds, and we'll get a boundary throw in right where the 50-metre line.
Probably didn't need to move that ball on quick. He actually kicked it to a 1-on-3. Probably needed to wait for the cavalry arrived and then maybe look for an easy hit up.
He asked a lot of Aussie Humphrey.
He did.
McMahon working hard back as he always does. Ball back into play, not front position against De Grande. We haven't caught a lot of De Grande this afternoon. Ball into the path of Buckley for St Joseph's. Gave a handball off to Gow. Gow just kicks blindly. Meant to drop what he should have taken, running with the flight of the footy. Pritchard out the back, cleaned up nicely. Left foot kick is well weighted onto the chest of Damien McMahon, who has it about 30 from his defensive goal, southern end of the ground.
So McMahon just holds it up. Needs some players to move towards the best seats in the house thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. It was Dowling who got there, couldn't take the mark. James Hickey got the handball to Oscar Morrison. Now he gets it towards Haynes, who goes short. No mark taken by Mitchell. Oh, comes in, slides over the top of McMahon, who's under wraps there. The ball comes back out. St Mary's with the numbers so they can get it out. Benson's clearing, kick back towards Dowling. Can't take the mark. Just goes away from him as it goes out of bounds, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
So the arm wrestle that ensued in the opening quarter is...
It's continued.
Yeah, but
Not as feisty.
No, it was an arm wrestle early. It took until the 9-minute mark, actually, for a score in the opening term. We've gone 4.5 almost on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Port Phillip Ferries, there's no better way to travel. Ball back into play. Not and sharp again. Front of the pack. Heinz does the roving handball release to Gow. Gow under pressure from Sherman. A kick that goes straight up the shot tower. De Grande will come hard at it. He actually played the spoil and got it out of bounds and said, I'll get a stoppage from the team. And we'll get it a boundary throw in just outside forward 50. St Joseph's in attack, attacking the swimming pool end of Anthony Costa Rover. What a crowd in front of the Don Matheson Pavilion. What a crowd in the old past players stand. Sunday Arvo footy at its best. St Joseph's and St Mary's on K-Rock football. Tapped down front of the pack by Knott. Trying to get a kick out of the pack was Heinz. Alderton's there as well for St Joseph. Benson trying to barge his way through with a tackle. Umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. Just inside 50 for St Joseph's. St Mary's 32, St Joseph's 31. 5 minutes gone, second quarter on K-Rock football.
So ball up. Just inside 50 for Joey's. Not got it down. Benson tried to track it. Augurinos couldn't pick it up. Ball Callagher, he dropped it in the tackle. Around the corner in the right forward pocket. Close to the boundary line. Had a 2-on-1 there, St Joey's, but they couldn't keep the ball in. De Grande. He saw the ball over and himself over the boundary line. And we will have a throw in about 25 around from the visitors' goal.
Darcy Churgman looks fine, boys, for St John of God. Coming back on.
It's Rock Dog. Boundary throwing is short. De Grande got it to the front. Augurinos' kick was smothered. Sherman through traffic to Benson. Clearing kick again, but Smith should have taken the mark, but his second effort was okay. Peck puts on a tackle, but he gets the kick inside 50. Buckley comes across, got one high, and will take the free kick for St Joey's. And he was coming across from half forward and got one high, and will have a set shot for goal from 40 out directly in front.
And these are the opportunities they're going to have to take. I don't think they're going to get an overly huge amount of shots on goal this quarter. These are the ones they've got to take advantage of.
So, Jack Buckley, right foot kick, has sprayed it to the near side and has put it through for one behind. And scores level, 5-2, 32 apiece. Apco Cafe 24/7 K-Rock's second quarter scoreboard.
Travellini to bring the ball back into play from his defensive goal square.
Just got Jack Blood here, boys. Red hot game, Jack.
Yeah, it is so far, mate. The pressure's on right now.
Both teams going in very hard, aren't they?
Yeah, always do. It's always a fiery one with Joey's. It's good.
Thanks, Jack. Good on you,
Jack
mate.
Blood there. So Joe's going to turn the footy over. Handball to Henderson Birch. Henderson Birch on the left. Flying shot at goal will fade across the face. Jasker off his hands and through for a minor score. So St Joseph's take back the lead. They're 5-3-33. St Mary's 5-2-32. 7 minutes gone, second quarter on the K-Rock Apco Cafe 24/7 scoreboard.
So, Travellini with the kicking in duties on this occasion. Plays on, goes to the outer side, tries to measure the kick. It's a beautiful kick to Augurinos, gives it away by hand to the greyhound Loftus, who takes a bounce, takes a kick now, inside 50, might favour Peck. It's over his head, Arkarachi to run onto it. Peck shows some speed too, the big fella. Handball over the top, handball back from McMahon. Oh, missed Churgwin. He couldn't take it. Now he's wrapped up, needs to get it away. He does, but close to the boundary line, Arkarachi. He gets the round on the right foot. Back to the top of the square. Humphreys there. Morrison as well. Falls to the front. Kick over the head by Knott. In towards the pocket. Mark taken O'Dwyer. Was he still in the field of play? The umpire says no, he wasn't. It's going to be a boundary throw-in. So I think, there's a bit of confusion here. Was it a mark? Was it... What's he paying?
He's paying a free kick for something.
Set him up, JJ. Set him up.
So the free kick's going to St Mary's.
As the umpire reached for his back pocket, and is there going to be a card here?
He's reporting him.
He's reporting Joel O'Dwyer. So number 16, Joel O'Dwyer, number in the book, free kick.
And you'd think that's a yellow card as well, depending on what he's been reported for?
Yes, it is. There's the yellow card, so he's off.
So what's he been done for, Nico?
I reckon that he put up his leg after he took the mark.
So the Toby Green
style.
Something very similar, boys, I'm telling you.
He can't believe it. He's talking to umpire Zarb as well, who is not the reporting umpire.
He was trying to protect himself, and he lifted the leg up.
And the free kick, I think Darcy Churgwin had the footy in his hand. He has now.
That's my read on it
so
anyway.
It's 50. There's 50 as well.
Yep.
So he's going to kick from the goal square, Churgwin, and kick the goal. He's kicked it towards our work at Lifeline up there.
Sure why he needs to kick it 200 metres away, but
matched it. So Darcy Cherkman puts his first on the board, and St Mary's again the lead, 6-2-38. St Joey's 5-3-33. Upco Cafe 24/7. K-Rock second quarter scoreboard, and confusion everywhere. Confusion reigns.
In saying that, they actually took the ball from their full back line, from the kick in, all the way to their forward 50, their forward pocket, without any pressure whatsoever. Travellini was able to walk to about 35-40 metres from his full back zone without having any pressure put on him at all. So defensively they were pretty poor on their exit then.
So it'll be interesting to see how that's dealt with by the match review panel. That report tomorrow, that will, they sort of get the overriding say. There'll probably be an offer from the umpires. That will then go through the match review panel, and interesting to see if O'Dwyer's got to.
Todd Nicholas said that was the lifting of the leg.
Yeah, right. So football manager for St Joseph's, umpire throws it up back in the middle, not winning the tap down this time. Gow and Buckley look at each other, and in the end Gow caught one high from Damien McMahon coming off the near side wing, and the St Joseph's playmaker has it middle of Anthony Costa Oval. He drives a kick. Looking forward to Grandy. Ryan to play spoiler, brought it to ground. Mentha trying to barge his way through, got through one tackle, and then got a handball to Grandy, who had his kick smothered. It'll spill for Augurinos for St Mary's. Handball on the up, missed McMahon. Chance for Gow to give it back to Buckley. Buckley, a left foot kick around the corner into the pocket, looking for DeGrandy. To a defensive work by McMullen, brought it to ground. Travellini attacks it, so does Heinz. Ball out of bounds, boundary throw in. There's another push and shove ensures. In fact, it's Pritchard, I should say, with Gow and Heinz. And near where the 50 meets the boundary line at right half forward, we'll get a boundary throw in. A vocal Don Matheson Pavilion crowd here this afternoon, very much supporting those in the navy blue and green. Tapped away, and a smart tap by Sharp, but only into the path of Pritchard, who under pressure from Alderton had his kick smothered, but it spoils nicely for Augurinos. St Mary's to get out of trouble.
Go towards centre wing, falls nicely for Lange, can't take it though. Morrison gets back there, tracks it back to the boundary line, and it's out of bounds right in front of the Rock Dog. He's even going to be a nice man and give it back to the boundary umpire. Great work, and that's his first possession of 2022. Well done, Nico. Good work.
It was clean.
Right in front of the best seats of the house, thanks to Atco Cafe 24/7.
The umpires love me.
Boundary throw in. Not in front, gets it down towards Blood. Doesn't sit for him. Gow, he's wrapped up. That's holding the ball. The umpire says no. He sort of took him on a little bit there, Jack Blood, James Gow, but umpire says give it back to me, and he will for Sharp, and not. Right on centre wing, not. Beautiful tap down to Blood. Got a quick little kick towards half forward. Might be okay. Humphrey comes back. He stands. He's handball though. Didn't hit a target. Blood follows it up. 45 out from goal. Right foot kick towards the square. Smith goes up and takes a good mark in front of Dowling. Played him in front there and will relieve the pressure for St Joey's.
Smith a driving left foot kick towards left half back. Looking out there for Callagher, but Sherman back with the flight. Took a nice mark for St Mary's. Kick inside 50. Once Benson, who stretches and marks 35 from goal. And a chance to get some separation here for St Mary's. They lead by 5. It's their biggest lead of the afternoon on St Joseph's, and this for an 11-point buffer after they trailed by as much as 18 at the 23-minute mark of the opening quarter.
Great skill then by Zach Sherman then to get back off the mark quickly. Beautiful pass.
Very quality play, and it was a good mark too, not to give away with the free kick and then to complete the mark. And as Brand Hines comes to you, Nico, you can tell he's just impeded a little bit. Benson the shot at goal, the reigning Matheson medalist, makes no mistake. Straight over the goal umpire's hat to kick his first of the afternoon. And St Mary's now skip away to an 11-point advantage. They're 7-2-44. St Joseph's are 5-3-33 in this second quarter of K-Rock football. We've gone 13 minutes on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock.
From that stoppage then, offensively they spread really well. They tackled Gow in a very strong tackle that we thought might have been holding the ball. But what happened next was Blood got the clearance, got it inside their forward 50, and then Benson got on the end of it eventually, and both were inside their forward 50, and Gow was still 10 metres from the stoppage. So defensively, the St Joseph's midfielders have got to transition, but they haven't been transitioning.
That Corpy is still troubling Brand Hates for St John of God.
Yeah, so might be looking at that in the second half. Ball in the middle. Ball spills free towards Benson again. Churgwin can't pick it up, goes past him. Kick off the ground by Gow, kept it in front, held on to the umpire. Benson put his head over the football. They've rugby scrummed it though towards Alderton, who can't take it with him, needs some support. Coming across Blood to help out, wrapped up by three St Joey's players. The umpire's let it go and he's going to ping him here. That is holding the ball, said the umpire. And Jack Bullen will get up. Well, maybe he'll get up after he was dumped by Jack Blood again. But it's 55 out from goal. He wants to move it towards the lead of Humphrey. Goes in that direction. Terrible kick. And turned it over. Pritchard takes the mark. Wants to switch the play. They go to Travellini. Right in the back pocket. Right next to the behind post. Southern end of the ground. And he's going to try and get some areas out of trouble.
Travellini into the right back pocket to Jasker, and the former Gold Coast Suns listed player. We'll look to share it by hand back to Travellini, who fires one over the top to Sherwin. Sherwin launches a handball to Sherman. They're outside defensive 50 by hand. Inboard he comes, and it's a well-weighted kick onto the chest of Cole. Marks in front of Smith. Cole for St Mary's. Handball off to Sherman. Sherman to Blood at his bootlaces. Picked it up and under pressure. Just dumped it, kicked forward, and Webb back with the flight. Surely we'll get a free kick against Dakarachi. Umpire didn't see it that way.
Jeez.
Chance now for Rayner, but his handball turned over to Ben Clark at St Joseph's, and then he was legged, and we'll get a free kick. Just outside defensive 50. Gee, Webb was stiff not to get the first free kick against Dakarachi.
Well, he took his jumper off him.
And Clark has got it just inside defensive 50 towards the outer side scoreboard, and a juggling attempt to mark is a good one out there for St Joseph's.
Hennessy, I think.
It's Ollie Hennessy with it. He goes short with a kick to the scoreboard, and Kelleher has it underneath that APCO Cafe 24/7 scoreboard. Says St Mary's leading by 11 points.
Well, he went for a short little kick, which was towards Henderson Birch, but it was chopped off. And I think it's Blood who got across there in front. Got a hand to it and saw it out of bounds for a throw in. So St Mary's will reset. Peck is going to do the ruck work for the home side up against Paddy de Grande. Going to favour de Grande to get there first. Ball, and he's going to do his roving work as well. Up the chimney with the kick though. And it's going to be no 15 play on. Off the back of the pack. Ball spills free. Goes wide, very wide. Tight confines here at Anthony Costa. And it's going to be a turnover ball. Humphrey.
This wind is picked up, boys. It's quite strong blowing to the northerly city end.
It has. So Angus Humphrey, right foot kick. Back to whence it came. Big pack there. That's a good mark to Grant. He just stood in the middle. Pex that says, pleads that he got a hand to it, but the umpire's not having any of that. De Grande will move it forward.
De Grande, St Joseph's need a goal. He bangs it inside forward 50. Mitchell front position. Big spoil. Jasker roving front of the pack. Mullen trying to find an outlet with a handball. Gets it outside forward 50 to Kelleher. Kelleher's left foot kick doesn't have enough weight on it. And Benson always seems to find himself in the right spot. The Matheson medalist stretches and marks in front of the past players pavilion. He'll come across the face of his defensive goal to Travellini, who marks between the right-hand goal and behind post, and then he goes short to Loftus, the debutant from Torquay. Left back pocket, he'll drive a kick, wants Jasker in a one-on-one with Webb. Webb front position, Jasker outpointed him nicely. Handball released to Rayner, and they're away St Mary's.
Goes to nobody in particular at half forward. Humphrey gets back there first, worried out of it though. McMahon gets the kick over the top beautifully, and it's just going to be able to sit nicely because out the back was Algarinos, is going to run in. Nobody in front of him, 35 out, and then he kicks it straight down the straight as well.
I don't understand why they have to kick it 300 metres
It's
away.
kicked a goal. The St Mary's 8-2-50. They lead St Joey's 5-3-33. That's on the APCO Cafe 24/7 K-Rock second quarter scoreboard.
Yeah, well,
He's kicked that to the old. That used to be an old car learning exhibition out there with the traffic wardens. That's where he's kicked it.
I think it hit the incision in Footscray. That's what it is.
It's up Latrobe Terrace.
But again,
Yeah,
another
boy.
poor forward entry by St Joseph's, and their rebound out of back
correct.
50 and their skills using the ball to get to the other end is just exquisite at the moment, and that's where they're hurting them at the moment. Better ball use.
Algarinos with the bounce going in. It didn't completely come back to him.
No.
I think that's the last six to St Mary's Kingy.
Yeah, they're on a real roll here.
Looking the goods here, that's for sure.
It's now a 35-point turnaround. Back in the middle, de Grande doing the ruck work against Knott, and there's going to be a free kick, and it's going to go against Alderton to Blood, so a bit going on off the footy there, and the headband Alderton giving away the free kick to the St Mary's skipper, who drives a long ball towards the right forward pocket. Webb judging it best, coming off his man, has taken the grab over the shorter Rayner and holds it up for St Joseph's, but
Keep it in there, lads. Keep it in.
St Mary's are just denying any real speed on the ball for St Joseph's as he goes left into the back pocket to James Hickey. James Hickey for St Joseph's, driving it towards the outer wing. Here's Humphrey. It's Austin Humphrey jamming it on the boot after roving his own drop mark, and his kick is straight into the path of Connors, who under pressure from Hennessy was able to get a handball up. They'll concede inside defensive 50. McMahon to Pritchard. He's got Loftus, who will take the mark just inside the left back pocket, and he wants to play on and run away from Henderson Birch. What about the verve?
Is it like race 5 at Geelong? He is. He's just off and running. Goes into the middle. Sherman gets it up to Blood. Had a big second term. Goes towards half forward. Trying to be a tap on there from Cole. He's going to have a couple against him. The boundary line's his friend though, and it's over the line for a throw in. Left half forward for St Mary's.
We're going to be excited by Kane Loftus if we're going to see a bit of him in the second half of the year, aren't we?
Yeah.
St Joseph's need their leaders to stand up, boys. It's at the moment, and they're not as clean as St Mary's down here at ground level, as you can see.
So boundary throwing, not in front, tried to get it down to Benson, handball, back towards DeGrandy, it's a clearing, kick into the middle, Mitchell, diving mark, can't take it, ball spills free, Connors, gives it across to Damien McMahon, he chips the ball short, can't turn over though, they're going to come the other way, St Joey's out the back, Mentha, good work, got behind Pritchard, was able to take the mark, and we'll have a set shot for goal from 35 out, and dare I say it, they need this one, St Joey's. So Jack Mentha hasn't troubled the scorers yet this afternoon.
He's had a few goes at it.
Played 20 minutes in his second term, Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. Port Phillip Ferries is no better way to travel, and Jack Mentha will want to travel this through for a goal. He has missed it, and badly as well. Just through for one behind in the end, so just leant back on that, and he's second behind the afternoon. 5-4-34 the visitors. St Mary's 8-2-50. Apco Cafe 24/7 K-Rock second quarter scoreboard.
Ling will go short to Dowling inside defensive 50 marks for St Mary's. You see something he likes in the middle of Anthony Costa Oval. It'll have to be a good kick for Notton it is, who stands tall against Gow and has paid the mark. He hung on to it long enough. He can give a handball off to Benson or Ling, who went cruising by, dumped after he kicked, and it's a well-weighted ball into the path of McMahon. Had his path impeded. He just brushed off Gow, and then a handball off to Benson. Benson a kick into the right forward pocket. Oh, what a build-up from St Mary's onto the chest of Peck. That was scintillating from inside the back half.
He's just taking it, isn't he?
You can't give him time and space. And when I mean time and space, I'm talking half a second and 30 centimetres. That's all he needs.
Harry Benson.
Oh,
brilliant.
That kick is elite.
He's too good for this mob.
Lockie Peck, right forward pocket. This will be a tough kick. Would need to start at right goal post and push it across. Shot at goal. Not bad. I reckon he's drilled it. What a finish. A wonderful goal from Lockie Peck. From the tightest of angles in the right forward pocket. Kicks a contender for a Lammy's Tavern goal of the afternoon. And Lockie Peck playing just the third game of his GFL career, the son of Paul, St Mary's premiership player. He's now got 6 goals, his first of the afternoon, and the margin is out to 22, and it might be a very handy 22 points as we approach half-time. 9-2, 56, playing 5-4-34, 22 minutes gone, second quarter.
Dare I say it was coast to coast again, Jace. We've mentioned it a few times today with just no pressure coming out of their back half, even throughout the transition of the ground, and get the ball in Benson's hand.
I think Damien McMahon might be starting the car to go to Leopold because he's in scintillating form in the middle.
There's another blood rule here.
Joshy Jaska.
Yeah, he's got the knee.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Left knee, being replaced by Harvey Ryan. And back to the middle now. 22-point lead for St Mary's. Sharp, Knott gets it down. Alderton right next to Blood. Through the middle. Kick, comes back now. Algarinos got the handball and he goes right forward towards half forward. No mark taken. Dowling. Cole off the front of the pack. Wheels around. 45 out. Right foot kick. Pop, top of the square. Peck goes up. Can't take the mark off hands. And running next to him was Lang as well. It's off hands and through and over the boundary line for a throw in left forward pocket. Jack the Blood rule too. Jack Blood.
Bleeding from the mouth.
Yeah.
I wonder how that might have happened.
Put his head in somewhere where he shouldn't have.
Left forward pocket, boundary throw in. St Mary's in attack. Peck winning the tap down in the ruck contest. Roving done for St Joseph's by James Hickey. His clearing kick doesn't get to its intended target in Mullen, but St Mary's with a trio of handballs gets it out towards Connors, who's ripped off the ball, and that he's holding the footy against Chipper Connors, and it's a free kick to Jack Buckley inside defensive 50. Desperately need one before half time in the goals column. Geez, front on contact there.
Geez, and some.
It was Cole on James Hickey, and it'll be a free kick to the 27 for St Joseph's. Joey's having kicked a goal. To centre half back, the kick of Hickey is good to Buckley. Buckley can bring it wide to Harry Smith, and Smith can mark almost at the point of the square at right half back for St Joseph's.
So Smith wanting somebody to lead up to him. There's not much. He goes long towards Humphrey, gives him a lead in the end. He's got a couple against him. Punch to the side. Kelleher, can he keep it in? He can, but then he overruns the football. Dame McMahon sees it over, and we'll have a throw in half forward.
Good news for Cats fans. 85-66 in the VFL. Shannon Neal has kicked 4 goals from 8 possessions.
So throw in, St Joey's into attack, right half forward. Late stages of the second term, Knott gets it down. Pritchard, handball, Augurinos. Benson underneath to Augurinos again, along the line. Oh, just bounces just inside the boundary line, right in front of the best seats in the house. Thanks to Apco Cafe 24/7, and we'll have another boundary throw in.
With the French Open about to start, was that Roland Garros puff of chalk?
It was the chalk too. Yes.
We'll get a boundary throw in.
Ili Nastasi would have said that ball was out.
Ili Nastasi.
Ball back into play for Knott and Sharp. Neither get a hand on it. Gets out the back. Here's Benson. Handball release sublime to McMahon, who bursts away. That's Damien for St Mary's. Kick to the pocket. Looking out there for Lang. Kick didn't have the carry on it. He just had a bit too much of the old wobble knees up as he was running away, Damien McMahon, and just couldn't straighten himself to get a decent kick, and it bounced in front of both Lang and Dowling for a boundary throw in left forward pocket. 22 the margin. St Mary's 56 and Joseph's 34. An entertaining round 7 closer between the arch rivals. Boundary throw-in. Here's Lang doing the ruck work, maybe winning the tap, but here's Dowling doing the roving. A handball. Benson taking in a tackle. That might be holding the footy. No. Smith barges onto the ball for St Joseph's. Wrapped up by Harry McMahon and going nowhere. And we'll get a ball up about 40 from the St Mary's goal. Kicking to the northern or city end here at Anthony Costa Oval. Matt Kershaw making furious notes in the experts chair as we approach half-time for Garmy Chicken and Beer. Tap down, Knott, roving, Benson, freed the hands, got a handball, went through the legs of Mullen. Augurinos picked it up for St Mary's at the 50. Kick goes up the chimney. Dowling crushes the pack. Knocked away by Loftus into the path of Cole. Cole snaps a kick around his body to the pocket. Webb, Arkarachi, neither could mark. Socket to the top of the goal square. Benson's there. Got a handball release back. Harry McMahon snap. Will go across the face and through for a minor score. And the margin is 23. All the running is with the boys in navy blue and green. They're 9-3-57. St Joseph's 5-4-34. 26 and 3/4 minutes gone on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock in this second quarter of K-Rock football. Port Phillip Ferries, there is no better way to travel.
So Luke Webb, footy at full back for St Joey's.
They play an irresistible brand of football, St Mary's. They're magnificent.
Oh, Webb goes wide along with the kick as he kept it in. The umpire says it's out of bounds off hands. I think Joel O'Dwyer just got his hands to it there. So it will be a boundary throw in. Knott and Sharp. Left half forward. St Mary's into attack late stages of the second term. Knott gets it over the back. Augurinos had a good second term as well. Handball towards Benson. Churgwin got it to Sherman. Sherman just handballed it out. Needed some support of the boundary line, got some, and we'll have a boundary throw in again at left half forward.
Grant Heights coming from the ground again. Nico, you're just keeping an eye on him. He's not moving as freely as you'd like, is he, for St John of God?
That's correct, mate. He's definitely been hampered there. Looks like he's got the knee bandage on too.
In the boundary throw-in, it was won by Knott to the front of the pack. Alderton does the roving, wrapped up by Ling. That should have been holding the ball. Umpire said no. Sherman. Benson was able to free the arms and get a handball that went into the shins of Sherman. Alderton just fires a handball indiscriminately. Ryan and Humphrey can test the footy. Neither can take it cleanly. It's out of bounds. And then Ryan with some little fancy footwork to Gaelic it up to himself, give it to the umpire, and we'll get a boundary throw-in. Almost true centre wing. St Joseph's slightly in attack late in this second quarter for Apco Cafe 24/7.
So throw in Knott in front. got a hand to it. Orgarinos couldn't take it. Through the middle, Benson just tapped it on. McMahon, Harry, wrapped up
between them two.
Yeah, it was too. So the two number 9s, Gow and Benson, get up a bit ginger. Both look,
Bit of respect
make
for
sure
each
they're
other,
okay. That was good.
I like that.
Yes, so they're okay. They go to opposite sides of the contest now, just inside the centre square. Oh, not pulled sharp off the football, and we'll take the free kick. The youngster from St Joey's, just inside the centre square as the ball comes back. Zach Sherman not going to touch the footy.
Sharpie just gives his 100% every week.
He does. He's at the point of the centre square at half back. He's going to drive the ball towards half forward. He goes in that direction now. Big pack there. His opposite number goes up. Can't take it. Not. Gow wrapped up straight away by that other number 9. So they're going pretty close to each other.
The minute.
And it will be a boundary a ball up right half forward now with St Joey's into attack.
It is a nice mouth-watering matchup, that one, isn't it, around the ground?
Sharp and Not. Sharp front position winning the tap down. Now we do his own roving, but he didn't get a boot on the ball. He was dumped in the tackle, and Sherman picked up the loose footy, drives it to a one-on-one. Arkarachi did well against Webb to bring it to ground, but Clark the roving for St Joseph's. Just a dinky little handball to Al Hickey. Ran into trouble, got it back to Ben Clark. Now to Webb, who spirals it forward about 30 metres into the path of Mullen. He can't mark. Well done, Benson. The handball along the ground, sublime, but Sherman set up Ling, and he sold him right up the river. He went up that famous river that doesn't have a canoe or a paddle.
Antonak from the middle, long, drives it to Grandy, got his hands to it, couldn't take the mark at the front. Mentha, surrounded by St Mary's defenders. He handballs it back. Mullen and Alderton, they raffle it. Alderton gets it. High kick, top of the square. Big pack thumped away defensively by St Mary's. They had 3 or 4 there, and they got it over the boundary line. Jaska saw it over, and it will be a throw in.
It's 3 or 4 v1 then,
yes,
Jace, I reckon.
It was. So 30 and a half played, second term, 23 points the difference deep. St Joey's need a quick one before half time here. They've got it deep forward. DeGrandy gets it down. Can't be roved though. Ryan falls over the crucial stage, needs to get the handball out. Did Sherman, wrapped up. The umpire said high, and Sherman will take the free kick and just settle the play down for St Mary's in the last line of defence.
For St John of God, Darcy Churgren's getting his right hand looked at, finger taped.
Also, Sherman's kick to half-back, wanting Not, who can't mark. Gow provided a spoil. Kick of Buckley was smothered towards the boundary line and out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. In front of, once again, a very good crowd here at Anthony Costa Oval. Don Matheson Pavilion, barely any standing room in that vicinity. And the past players stand also very full in the GMHBA Stadium pocket. Boundary throw-in, Not front position. He'll get a free kick, I reckon. He was being held in that contest by Sharp, and it'll come back to Not. Oh no, it was off the footy to Benson against Alderton, in fact. So Alderton's doing the Wombat Gully Plant Farm matchup at the moment on Harry Benson. It's a tough ask.
It's in a couple of free kicks Alderton has given away off the ball.
Goes looking for Lang off the hands of the pack. Arkarachi after Webb flew. Good handball release to Lang. Had his kick smothered by Buckley, or rather Hickey. It was James Hickey. Soccer inside 50. Dowling's handball on the up was a good one. Chance now for Cole. Cole sees something he liked. About 30 from goal. It's Travellini. The ball bounces away from him. And St Joseph's have got numbers, including Mullen, to get it away, but only as far as Sherman. Sherman to Travellini. Knocked forward into the path of Alderton. Alderton, that was a throw. Umpire didn't see it that way, but Benson's got it. Kick inside 50. Now, will that be paid a mark? It is paid. St Joseph's are fuming. No, umpire Jones has said no.
He's overruled him.
And I don't blame him.
That was right.
Because he was right.
Yeah.
It was after the siren was heard. It doesn't matter which umpire hears it. It doesn't have to be the controlling umpire. It's the first umpire to hear the siren, and Chris Jones should be commended.
He was up there.
He was up there. He heard it, and he's made the decision, and there will be no shot at goal after the siren. I think it was Harry Cole who had the opportunity, but umpire Jones was all over it.
Forward half and get scoring opportunities, and they've been able to do so with ease. They've got to get back into the game. Early on in the game, their pressure was so high, and that's what kept them in the game and got them in front.
Third quarter, thanks to Metricon. Here's Jason Doherty.
So Nick Knott gets it down for the first tap of the third term, straight to Jack Blood, back on the ground, goes inside 50, Lang to track it, picks it up, no he can't, gets one hand to it, and getting back there to help out Mentha. For St Joey's, kick up the chimney, very wide too, and Al Hickey's not going to be able to keep that in, so Churgman has the free kick in between wing and half forward. Plays on quickly. High kick again. Inside 50. Holds up in the breeze. Lang goes up. Can't take the mark. Nick Knott. Left foot kick around the corner. Dowling in front. Can't take the mark. And they're fighting hard for it deep. And is that a kick off the ground? It is. And running into it was Harry Cole. And just took it out from James Hickey's hands and kicked the goal. So a great start for St Mary's. That took 40 seconds in the third term. They kicked their 10th. And Harry Cole has kicked his first of the afternoon. 10 individual goal kickers for the home side. 10-3, 63. And they lead St Joey's 5-4-34. And that's on the Metricon K-Rock third quarter scoreboard.
Oh, luck's of fortune, wasn't it? But you've been in the right place at the right time, Jace. Put yourself in the frame and take your opportunity.
Move the ball quickly.
Exactly right.
63 playing 34. Umpire Jones to put it into the air. Knott and Sharp. Sharp maybe winning that one. The ball still in the middle of the ground. Benson, Alderton head over it. Here's Heinz wrapped up by Knott. That's throwing the ball, umpire. Didn't see it that way. Sharp, Alderton suckering it to his own advantage, although did get away from him and also Mullen. Off the ground was Travellini. Shergren was clean to Rayner. Rayner just darting his way back through traffic and coming inboard to Benson. Benson marks and sees Pritchard just back of the centre circles marking the short kick. Pritchard on his left boot. The centre half forward. Knott is all alone. He can go run to 52. He said kicks to the pocket and the kick onto the chest of Tom Lang in front of the Don Matheson Pavilion, where it'd be a little bit cooler now as the sun's starting to lower in the west.
You summed that up well, Kingy. Clean. St Mary's have just been much cleaner the last quarter and a bit.
Tom Lang, 6 last week. Hasn't troubled the scorer this afternoon. Man on the mark, Humphrey, the Eminem lookalike. Stands about 45 from goal. Lang kicks from about 48. Starts it right, and that is where it will stay. Just won't work back enough. And through for a minor score, and the margin is now a neat 5 goals at 30 points. 10-4-64, playing 5-4-34. Third quarter thanks to Metricon. Metricon, your local builder, and we're building strong.
So St Joey's play on from full back. There's been a change. Luke Webb's gone forward, and we're going to see if that works. The ball. Mark's taken. Jasker takes the mark. Gives it away by hand to McMahon. Damien. Benson gets around a couple. Handball underneath. Back towards McMahon. Miss Pritchard though. Alderton stands in the tackle. McMahon came back to hold him up at half forward. The umpire will come in and ball it up.
Connors has got the job on him.
So he's running deep forward. Luke Webb. Ball up. Umpire throws it in the air. Benson through the middle. Handball. Hit McMahon again. Now comes to Blood, gives it away to Augurinos, who runs on the outside, right foot kick inside. Lampeck goes up, can't take the mark. Off the side of the pack. Another one by Cole, did nicely on the side of the pack, and 2 in a minute for Harry Cole. And great start for St Mary's in this third term against the Breeze. They go to 11-4-70. They lead St Joey's 5-4-34. Metricon, K-Rock, third quarter scoreboard. Metricon, your local builder, and we're building strong.
He just got goal side of him then, and James Hickey couldn't defend that, particularly with the pace of the ball coming into there forward 50. Like, it's electrifying when the ball gets in there. Puts them under all sorts of pressure.
The last quarter and a bit, every other GFL team watching that, and I know Gary Hocking, Rowan McSparron, Greg Mellor are all among the rival coaches here. Greg Mellor probably much of interest because they're here next Sunday, Geelong West. Another K-Rock broadcast game from Anthony Costa Oval. They've put the foot on the throat. Sharp and not winning the tap down this time. Joey's just can't seem to get clearances from the middle. Gow trying to barge his way through, so does Not. Oh, Sharp, gee, he's landed awkwardly in the middle of the ground. Keep an eye on that rock dog. It's Benson with a kick long inside forward 50, flying, not marking Lang, but he was being held onto by Humphrey according to the umpire, and he'll win himself a free kick. Tommy Lang turns, kicks quickly into the pocket. Dowling back with the flight, Peck the other way. Defensive spoil. Smith, front of the pack. Sherman for St Mary's. There's a bit going on off the ball, and there's going to be a free kick going to Sherman, though, who was taken high. And as you can hear through the wonderful effects mics of Dean Gray, they're telling Zach Sherman to have a shot. We are right at the St Mary's bench. They've probably been annoyed by us all afternoon as he comes inboard. Augurinos has marked 45 metres from goal.
Sharp is right. Sharp is right.
He landed awkwardly. He got himself in a very awkward position.
Got straight up. It's nice use then by Zach Sherman, wasn't it, Kirsch?
Made it tough stuff, the Sharps. Augurinos coming off A big one last week, 34 touches and 9 clearances against Lara.
On his limit here.
He will be. He swings out to the right. He starts it right and he can't work it back enough, and that will just sneak in for a behind to the near side. But the margin is 37. 11-5-71 St Mary's and Joseph's 5-4-34. They've really pulled away now, have the Saints.
I thought he was going to balk them, boys.
Yeah, I thought he might have thought about it.
Yeah.
If anyone could do it, Maxie could.
So St Joey's. Dwyer kicks it in. Long. And Webb's up. Can't take the mark. Gow, front and centre. Goes long towards Mullen. Held on to. Should have got a free kick. Travellini right next to him. Umpire didn't see it that way. Off hands. And out of bounds. Just forward of the centre wing for St Joey's.
St John of God, Jack Blood's lips fine, but doesn't want another knock on it.
So throw in Sharp, not.
Good, Harry.
With a ruck work. Boundary umpire, Sharp in front this time, gets it down, but roved by Sherman. Fantastic handball to Orgarinos. Now to Pritchard. And he goes from half back towards half forward. Lang's got 2 on him. He's pushed under the footy. Umpire says play on. Falls to the back. Hickey gets it to Gow on centre wing. Off a step. Right foot kick. Back inside 50. Webb with the run at it. Can't take the mark. Mullen front and centre. He can't take it either. Jaska tried to tap it on. Did so. Now Jack Blood gets a bit of space. Right foot kick around the corner. Dinking close to boundary line. Sharp and coming out of Churgwin. And they see it over the line for a throw in.
He's got no fluency going in their forward half now. It's just bomb and hope at the moment, and hoping that Webby might take a mark.
They are missing grass.
They are. Just to straighten them up a bit, you know. Just
You wonder where the next goal's coming from. They had 5 on the board and led by 18 points at the 23-minute mark of the opening term. They now trail by 37. It's been a 55-point turnaround, 9 consecutive goals from the Saints. Tapped down by Knott. Hands and knees, Sherman. Blood was in there as well. Mullen, he threw that to Gow. Gow had his kick partially smothered. It was palmed down by Sharp to Alderton. Alderton outside of the right boot. The kick, Loftus back with the flight. Mark or free kick. Sharp has hit the deck and hit the deck hard, and he is in pain. Keep an eye on that. Chris Nichols, this is a big blow for St Joseph's. He is writhing in pain on the ground. Is Dylan Sharp. And
He got hit after he tapped that ball.
so they're just holding up play because where Sherman wants to come with the kick is right in the path where Sharp is lying. He's being tended to by the St Joseph's medical staff now, but he's in a lot of pain and he is lying prone on the ground at the moment. This is not good for St John of God. We'll keep an eye on young Sharp, who has been such a workhorse through the opening 6.5 rounds of season 2022.
Put to Grandy in the ruck already. Well, it looks all.
So put it
back behind the ball.
Yeah.
Sharp is now to his feet. So he's going to come to the boundary. Dr. Joe Vigona there just keeping an eye on him. He's in good hands with Dr. Joe. And Humphrey
got
comes
winded.
onto the ground.
Yeah, got
Badly
I think,
winded.
Yeah.
And it's with Zach Sherman at right half back, and he goes short onto the chest of Damien McMahon.
So McMahon at half back.
I love it. The St Mary's footballers are just saying, who cares? He's only winded.
Gets it onto Pritchard, goes to the outer side centre wing. Loftus needs some support. Webb put the tackle on. Loftus might get it again. Watch out, he's got some space in front. Can he get around Hickey? Handballs it over the top, does nicely. Now the kick around the corner, back towards 50. Akarachi comes out, takes the mark. Got Benson front and centre at centre half forward, goes in that direction. Good kick. Benson takes the mark, 50 out. Wants McMahon running past. Oh, he goes with a short little chip kick. No 15, said the umpire. Now Rayner towards the pocket. Dowling can't take the mark. Against him, Smith needs some support. Dowling got a hand to it again. But they've got the numbers. St Joey's on the outside. They go with a long kick towards Mullen. He'll go against Pritchard. Punched away defensively by Brady Pritchard over the line. And we'll have a boundary throw in.
O'Dwyer can't be far away, Nico, from a return.
I honestly thought that he was on the
Yeah, I
ground.
think he's on. I think he's at.
Yeah.
I think he's gone back.
Yep.
I think it was at half time.
Deep on Akarachi at the moment.
Yeah.
Todd Nicol is still trying to find out officially what happened.
So from the boundary throw in, Gow does the roving and then just releases a handball into space, wanting Mullen to run onto it. McMahon, to worry him out of it, did well, knocked it out of bounds for a boundary throw in. If you wanted to be really technical, there was insufficient intent.
Hit that in.
Oh, he's not going to be paying that this afternoon. The Grandy doing the ruck work while Sharp's off the ground, giving up a bit of size to Knott. Not winning the tap down. There's going to be a free kick for a hold or too high, and it's too high against De Grandy, too Knott, who went to give the handball off to Travellini. but instead decided to hold it back. He can kick short to Travellini if he likes, and that's where he's going to come right in our best seats in the house. Jesse Travellini's almost shaking hands with us after taking that mark. He's that close to us for APCO Cafe 24/7. Third quarter of K-Rock football for Metricon Homes, their new reverse living display home for Appleby Street. Kerr Lewis kicked a half forward off the hands of the pack. Benson ran into a Morrison tackle, is going nowhere, and we'll get a ball up just outside 50, right half forward for St Mary's. They lead by 37, and they're on their way to remaining unbeaten in 26 consecutive games of footy. An unbelievable run from the Saints.
DeGrande got it down. Benson, Alderton couldn't take it with him. Sherman goes back to get it, throws it over the head towards Knott. Alderton chopped it off, and he's run out of room. And we'll have another boundary throw in, right half forward for St Mary's. Attacking the southern swimming pool end of Anthony Costa in this third term. 11 played in this quarter. DeGrande in front, trying to get it to himself. Knott's there as well. Benson creates some space again, runs free at 50, goes with a right foot kick, open goal square, getting back there. And it's going to run away. Lang's there, Smith as well. And happy to see it over the line. I think it's still in play, the umpire said. Cole, he tracks it along the boundary line as well. Now it's out. And boundary throw in. And the umpire just, James Hickey, Caden Rayner, just exchanging pleasantries on the boundary line. So throw in for DeGrande. And I think Harry McMahon's going to do the ruck work against DeGrande. So throw in for the DeGrande, double fisted down. McMahon goes to get the ball in the end. Can't quite keep it in though. And still in the field of play. Now it's going to run out. And we're going to have another boundary throw in. 11-5, 71 St Mary's. They lead St Joey's 5-4, 34. 12 played in this third term thanks to Metricon. Metricon, your local builder, and we're building strong.
Right where the boundary meets the 50-metre line. We'll have a boundary thrown in this third quarter thanks to Metricon. Double palm down Harry McMahon, the roving by Alderton, hit it at pace and bangs it long, but Jaska back with the flight, best positioning, went the spoil instead of the mark and fisted it into the path of Linger, gave a handball to Harvey Ryan. Ryan's kick over the head of a teammate and Loftus, and she's out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Just over hit the kick there, Ryan. And right where the scoreboard sits here at Anthony Costa Oval, it shows a 37-point St Mary's lead. We'll have a boundary throw-in. Peck doing the ruck work against DeGrande. Peck winning the tap down, roving Alderton, but he couldn't take it cleanly and it spilled for Sherman. Sherman taking an interesting front-on tackle by DeGrande. Umpire said it wasn't high. I'll have it, thanks very much, and toss it back into the air. 13 minutes gone. Third quarter, Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. Peck the tap down. Benson the roving. Couldn't release the grasp of Alderton. Got a handball away to Harry McMahon, who gave it up to his skipper Blood. Blood, a high floating left foot kick inside 50. Flying but not marking Lang. Good defensive spoil from St Joseph's. It's only into the path of Blood. He'll track it towards the boundary line, which will beat him in the end, will it? No, he'll keep it alive and then turn and swivel and kick into the left forward pocket. Joey's with numbers killing up and the mark taken back there by O'Dwyer, who's back on the ground.
And chips the ball towards Humphrey. So Angus Humphrey plays on, gives it away by hand to Morrison, who runs behind. Thought about the handball. He's going to kick it now towards half back, over the head of a couple. Push, said the umpire, over the shoulder. St Joey's free kick. Going to come back to Mitchell, I think. And he will take the free kick. At half back for St Joey's. Just no fluidity though, is there now?
No.
Kirsch just kicking it up the line, hoping. Humphrey there, Webb as well, off the back of the pack. And Callagher couldn't quite take it with him. Ball spills free, back to McMahon. Damien, back to Sherman, got it back to McMahon, wants to switch the play. Goes the opposite side, set half back, great kick. And there he is again. Benson gives it away to the racehorse, who is Loftus.
And he's away with one bounce. He has a second bounce, wants to take on Morrison, kicks with the outside of the right boot, but maybe did a little bit too much and put it onto the chest of Jack Buckley. But you like those who are willing to break the game open with their leg speed.
Absolutely. Break the line.
That's Cameron's boy, isn't it? Is that Cameron Loftus' boy?
No, Cameron's only got a daughter.
Okay, just beg your pardon.
Short, onto the chest. Hello to Cam. I know he'll be watching and listening this afternoon. AFL Bar on Facebook live stream. Callagher, well way to kick onto the chest of James Hickey. Shares it with his brother Al, the skipper of St Joseph's, kicking to left half forward. He's overhit the kick, misses Hannessy badly, and it bounces out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. So we've got the shaggy, sandy hair, a bit like Cam used to rock with back in the when he arrived down from Echuca, though, Rock Dog. So you could be mistaken.
He certainly is, yes.
ball back into play. Left half forward for St Joseph's. Not front position when he down for St Mary's. Oh, Bell Hickey, big tackle, Harry Cole. Sherman the loose footy, handball up, but only as far as DeGrandy. And that kick has gone up the chimney, JD.
It certainly has. Churgwin goes back with a fly to the foot. He couldn't take it. Ryan got the handball out around the corner. Kick towards DeGrandy, who has to stand his ground. Does well. Does he take the mark? The umpire says no. He's appealing for the mark, but it wasn't taken cleanly, said the umpire. And it will be a boundary throw in left half forward. St Joey's into attack. And we'll do the ruck work after that marking contest. It's not in front. Handball. Now Hickey, Not tried to get the handball away as well. Alderton had it, lost it, needs to pick it up again, does so, needs some support. Oh, Antonak runs. He went right, went left and dropped the football in the tackle. Augurinos in there. Cole got his hands free. McMahon on centre wing. Tumbling right foot kick along the line. Going to bounce out straight into the Don Matheson Pavilion. And a boundary throw in right half forward for St Mary's.
That spun more moorily than a fifth-day pitch at Gaul.
Went sideways. And a throw in now with the home side into attack.
Leaning out of the commentary box here. Watch the boundary throw in. It's right in front of a very big crowd. Sunday afternoon football, get on it. Tap down, not roving Sherman. Handball up to Blood. Blood a kick inside 50. Bounces through the arms of Peck. White goes back to try and find it. Can't. Buckley a handball release. Outside of the right boot. The kick from O'Dwyer. And stealing it away, Churgwin. Wasn't paid the mark, so got a handball to his skipper. Blood lost it in the tackle of DeGrandy. Alderton freed the arms. A handball on the bounce. Fine, only as far as Cole. Cole went looking for a target inside 50. Getting in the way was Buckley to knock it away, but the numbers are there. Handball on the up to Sherman. Sherman's just pulled the kick. The handball was slick from Augurinos, or was it Rayner?
Rayner.
Yep. It was Rayner with this very slick piece of hands, but unfortunately Sherman has just tugged it to the left through for a minor score, and the margin is 38. 11-6-72. The goals have dried up in this third quarter, just the two to St Mary's. We've gone 17 and a half minutes on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock, and St Joseph's at 5-4-34.
So Buckley to kick it in from full back for St Joey's, goes long and wide, looks for Humphrey. Third in line. Mark taken at the back by Cal Mitchell. Goes over the top to Webb. So they need to move it quickly now. He's got Mullen on a lead. He hasn't got much else though. St Mary's have worked beautifully back. He goes along with the kick. He's not going to hit a target over the back. Damien McMahon, who seems to be everywhere this afternoon, gets back there to help out in the back pocket. He's happy to see it over the boundary line. And we'll have a throw in left forward pocket for St Joey's.
He's got a fair tank, Damien McMahon, hasn't he?
He just keeps going.
Just keeps going and going and going.
He blew up the
Covers
GPS.
the ground. Yeah.
He's at one end and then you look around, he's at the other.
Correct.
Left forward pocket, boundary throw in. St Joseph's in attack to the northern end, or city end here, or the lifeline end of Anthony Costa Oval. From the boundary throw in, Harvey Ryan at close quarters to Damien McMahon, loops it to Sherman. Sherman buffeted by Gow as he tried to get it to Cole, and it's out of bounds for a boundary throw in. Chris Nichols is just having his own private conversation with Jesse Travellini down boundary side. Great to see Jesse back playing footy in the GFL after a year up north. Shallow boundary throw in, Not grabs it out of the ruck, has it knocked from his grasp. Ling on the up to Connors, and Connors has been pinged for holding the footy, and Webb's won himself a free kick. So Luke Webb, who's been made ineffective in defence this afternoon, and it was a really smart play. They've had Akarachi playing a defensive role on him, and they've rolled Webb forward, Joey's, for a couple of reasons. Get him into the game, but also he can be lively. He has kicked 6 in a GFL game before, Luke Webb.
Sharpie's back. Sharp is back on for St Joey's. Badly winded he was.
Webb, left forward pocket. We need to start at right goal post and work it back, and that's exactly what he's done. That's a beautiful kick by Luke Webb, and they kick their first goal since the 23-minute mark of the opening term. They break a run of 9 consecutive St Mary's goals, and they pull it back to 32 points as Not comes from the ground in the hands of the physio. Chris Nichols to you for St John of God, holding it, looking at a hand or a wrist.
Yeah, for St John of God there, I think he's got a stinger.
Oh no, he's got a big bump on it. Don't worry about that.
Big lump on his hand.
Big lump on his right hand. Yeah.
Well, the margin is back to 32. I wouldn't say they're back in the contest, and Joseph, they could jag another couple before three-quarter time and get some momentum, but they desperately needed that, and it was a classy finish from Luke Webb.
So Peck in the ruck in replace to Not. Sharp back in the ruck as well. Through the middle, you know who, Benson. Right foot kick out wide. Cole, who's had a good third term. Oh, McMahon to run onto it. He misses though. Tried to kick it off the ground. Harrison Smith comes back. He's handball. Missed the target as well at half back. Ball spills through. McMahon rides the bump. Gives it away to Cole again. Kick over the top. Might be for Rayner. Might sit for him. He's on the boundary line. Gets him. Tries to get around. Handball though. Missed the target. Buckley. Blind turn. Oh, kick to nobody. Came off his boot. Now Benson tries to drill it towards Churgwin. He's got support with Lang. Can he get it back to Churgwin? He goes to the left foot kick around the corner. He probably should have handballed in the end. And Harry McMahon couldn't take the mark. And O'Dwyer did for St Joey's.
Drives it towards the outer side, looking for a mark through the hands of Mullen out the back. Travellini cleans up, a handball inboard to Peck. Peck back towards the boundary line to his skipper. Blood with it, just forward of the wing. Driving a kick into the pass player's stand pocket. No mark taken. In fact, mark taken. It's been paid on the juggle.
Interesting.
To O'Dwyer, going back with the flight in the match-up with Harry McMahon. And he'll send it towards half-back, looking for Henderson Birch, who we've barely called this afternoon, the youngster on the Falcons list. And that kick just bounced inside the field of play in front of he and Churgwin, and will be a boundary throw-in at left half forward for St Mary's. So Felix Henderson Birch just hasn't been his afternoon, hasn't been able to work his way into the contest. Suspect he, though, will return to the Falcons as they resume their NAB League season next week. Peck winning the tap down. Al Hickey, did he get a shove? Umpire said play on. Socket off the ground by Gow. He bought good territory too, and on the bounce, Webb took it very nicely and is away with a bounce.
So he goes now. He had to go run across the ground because he had nothing to kick to. Goes inside 50 now. Mitchell couldn't take it. Connors. They get back in numbers, St Mary's, and they just switch the ball. And guess who? Damien McMahon in the back pocket. He ran 100 metres from the wing to come and help out, and he took the mark. And now he'll chip the ball back in. Gives it away to Ryan. So then he chips the ball over the top. Benson just holds it up. Thought about the handball back to Ryan. Now he's just going to go with the kick out wide. It's a good kick too. Dowling up the ground, takes the mark, plays on quickly. Left foot kick around the corner. Oh, big. James Hickey came in. And Arkarachi was over there as well, I think. He's still on the hands and knees. The ball's sort of blood. Went left, went right, came back to the right. Long kick up towards Orgarinos, who goes up and can't take the mark. It would have been amazing in the goal square. It comes towards Smith, and he just needs to settle the play down. Joey's under pressure, deep in defence. They get the ball to Al Hickey, and they might be out of trouble.
It was almost Warwick Capper over Chris Langford. 87 qualifying final. If you can see it, that's what Orgarinos nearly pulled off. He just couldn't hang on to it. From Henderson Birch to Al Hickey, driving kick to the wing. Peck can't complete the mark for St Mary's. Mitchell took it off the hands of the pack, cuts back inboard looking for a handball release, finds one in Gow. Gow's got it on the wing in front of the scoreboard. Joey's trailed by 32. A high kick to Grandy, can't mark. Back of the pack, Webb trying to tap it to his own advantage. Oh, ran straight into Benson, who went bang. And the umpire said, give it to me, I'll ball it up. Great tackle, Harry Benson, because if Webb was able to free the arms, St Joseph's might have been out.
Yeah, that's a outside run there if he got it out, but not getting past Harry Benson too many times.
That Orgarinos fly, wow. I'm looking forward to seeing that back on the replay.
So, ball up, half forward. Now Churgwin. Gives it away to Dowling. He goes with a right foot kick to Arkarachi. Oh, bowls him over, but he got enough time to give it away by hand. They get it back. The handball over the top. That quickly came Travellini. Keeps going. Arkarachi with the outside of the right boot. Good kick.
Just too easy.
Handball in. It's a training run. Kane Loftus walks in and kicks another goal. His second of the afternoon. And the 12th for St Mary's, 12-6-78. They lead St Joey's 6-4-40 Metricon. K-Rock, third quarter scoreboard.
What I liked about that is Kane Loftus kicked it into the net.
Yes, not
right, not 300 metres away and just waste everyone's time.
He had the opportunity, didn't he? Done well.
But just so clean out of that stoppage, and the way they spread forward from a stoppage is just, it is at the elite level.
But Kirsch, St Joseph's just failing to keep the ball in their forward 50 like they did in the first quarter.
They are, and they're missing. They're sort of like, they are definitely missing like the Reed Adams in the middle. They just haven't got the depth to rotate through the middle. So it's the same 3 or 4 every time, and they're just sort of more of attrition.
No winner of the ruck contest, but Benson got the loose footy, handball to Sherwin, who gave it to Orgarinos. Centre circles, drives a kick towards right half forward. No mark taken by Lang. Off it bounces off his chest. Time to recover. Handball on the up to Wakarachi. He had a fit of the fumbles again. Time to give it up to Orgarinos. Orgarinos just forward of the wing. The kick intended for Lang, who knocks it to his own advantage and controls it down to take the mark, 70 from home. He'll just chip one over the top, and here's Damien McMahon again, who has brought his own Sharon this afternoon. If you were announcing a team of the year right now, he'd probably be on the wing. He'll send it long towards the goal square. Sherwin through his hands, couldn't complete the mark. Dowling, front of the pack, dived on the footy. Then he was dived upon. Ball spilled out the back. Cole working in a phone booth, gave it to Sherwin. Sherwin with the right foot banana. And that has gone out of bounds on the full to the near side. And there'll be a free kick to St Joseph's to be taken by James Hickey. 38 the margin, 25 minutes gone in this third quarter thanks to Metricon. Don't forget their double-story display now open at Jen Finesford Display, featuring the best in modern coastal living. It's open every day, 11 till 5.
So Hickey got the footy now in the last line of defence for St Joey's. Trying to think about going across the face of goal, but there's not really much on offer there. He goes short. Harrison Smith plays on, tries to draw a playing. In fact, he gets around and goes with the left foot kick down the middle towards centre wing. Was that a mark? No, umpire said playing off hands. They're going to run free. Kick inside 50 towards De Grande. Connors against him. It came from Mitchell. Now De Grande back towards Alderton. 50 out and closing. 45 open goal square. Question of accuracy. And he kicks it. Good work by Zach Alderton to finish off. Good play. Coast to coast again for St Joey's, and they kick their 7-4-46. They trail St Mary's 12-6-78, and that is on the Metricon K-Rock third quarter scoreboard.
Whilst that was longer kicking still, it was quicker. You got to move the ball quick, so you can't let St Mary's set up their defensive zone. So there was one-on-ones in front of the pill. They got the front and centre, and it was just very good football.
From that out in the full too, Kirsch.
It was.
From the back line, so...
Yep, it did.
Al Hickey's shown great leadership qualities here in this quarter. Has really lifted.
Alderton, Gow and Hickey, it has been that trio for much of the day, along with Heinz doing the grunt work under the feet of Sharp and Peck. Sharp climbed high on the tap, but Algarinos did the roving for St Mary's. A handball release to Benson on the outer wing with a left foot kick that McMahon judges best, going back with a fly. That's a nice mark. And then he'll spin and turn and drill a kick into the pocket, wanting Loftus. It was at his bootlaces. He overran the footy. O'Dwyer to track it back to the boundary line. And in the left forward pocket for St Mary's, the swimming pool pocket, we'll get a boundary throw in. So just an interesting bit of symmetry, gentlemen. If St Mary's to win this afternoon, they'll go 26 unbeaten, which is actually the VFL-AFL record held by Geelong. And that also involved a draw, as St Mary's run does. Handball out of the pack, Sharp. Here's Hickey jamming it on the boot. That's Al towards Humphrey, went through his legs, and that of Ryan kept alive at the boundary line. No, Hennessy couldn't convince the umpire that he'd kept the Sherrin completely in the field of play, and we'll get another boundary throw-in, this time at left half forward for the Saints. They lead by 32 this third quarter of K-Rock football, thanks to Metricon, your local builder, and we're building strong.
So throw in for Sharp and Peck with Knott off the ground. We'll keep an eye on what's happening with Nick Knott's hand. At the back of the pack, Algarinos ripped off the football, clearing kick Callagher. St Mary's with the numbers if it sits. Algarinos back there to Jasker. He goes with the right foot over the shoulder, but it's all St Joey's. Sharp dropped the mark he should have taken, got it away to Gow. They've got the numbers though. He can break free. Callagher goes to right foot, half forward. Webb, use the body. Kick around the corner by De Grande. Open forward 50. Might be okay to Hennessy. Can't take the mark. Good play by Travellini to get back there and help out. Ball still in dispute. About 40 out from goal for St Joey's. And umpire just letting play go. Pretty scrappy there. Now he'll have to come in, and will he? No, he still lets it go. Humphrey gets it away now. The St Mary's boys defenders get it out, and only as far as Morrison, who takes the mark at right half forward.
Oscar Morrison continuing the Morrison contingent at St Joseph's following the retirement of Zach at the end of last year. Banging it along through the hands of Humphrey, it went. Rolling ball to the boundary line, De Grande, and Travellini just guides him into the fence. He makes sure there's no damage. And in the right forward pocket, we'll get a boundary thrown. Looks like Nick Knott's about to come back onto the ground. Nico?
What happened?
He's had the wrist hand bandage and is raring to go.
Yeah,
Might get back on though.
Now, Kirsch has just had a chat with Nick. What's he told you?
He just got a little bit of a knock on the hand. He's right to go. He's got it strapped up. Away he goes. He's a tough man, Nick Knott. A good-looking rooster too.
Here's Harry McMahon with the footy in the middle of Anthony Costa-Oval. Not a great kick, although the bounce did Buckley no favours. Had pressure coming from Cole Mentha. Tried to don't argue on Damien McMahon. Cole shoved off the footy by Buckley. It'll roll free into the path of Loftus, although Harry McMahon socketed off the ground fortuitously to Lang. Lang from 45 on the snap. Open goal square has pulled it to the left and through for a minor score. I'm not sure Harry McMahon meant that with that sock. shocker.
Perfect.
Tom Lang just happened to be there.
Right place, right time.
And the margin
It's going for you.
the margin is 33. 79 plays 46. 29 and 3/4 minutes gone on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock this third quarter of K-Rock football.
So kick in Hickey. James Hickey goes to the outer side. Just inside defensive 50
There's not a lot of movement up the ground.
No.
They just got their hands up wanting the long ball.
and 50, I think. Paddy Dowling didn't come back on the mark. So 50 against him, and St Joey's are going to bring it up to centre wing.
He's played a good role on him today, Harry Smith.
He
When
has.
he's had him down there.
He has. And now Kelleher goes out wide.
I think I picked that matchup, Harry Smith and Paddy Dowling.
He did. Hickey back to Kelleher. It's still on centre wing.
He's been everywhere, Paddy Dowling, today, unfortunately for him.
Gets around. Harry McMahon goes long. Big kick. Up Webb couldn't take the mark. Connors at the back. St Mary's again with the numbers at the back. This kick, though, just short, just 15. Jaska just took the mark. And outside 50 now, Benson has it and just settles the play down for St Mary's.
He does. He's
Go slow, lad.
left half
Roll,
back.
Paddy.
We're approaching and gone past 30 minutes, I should say, and that is three-quarter time. A quarter that went 30 minutes 55 on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock, thanks to Metricon, your local builder, and we're building
All the way that St Mary's move the ball, particularly by foot, and how quick they move the ball. They've got to sort of get back on the horse around the clearances and just get a little bit more defensive, even up the numbers around there, and just don't let them exit so easy. They've got to get back to basics as well, just sort of maintain a little bit of footy and possession, and be brave with their ball movement. But for St Mary's, they don't really need to change much. They just need to keep doing what they're doing, and they'll be aided by a little bit of a breeze, which will certainly help them as well, getting more ball inside forward 50.
What do you liked about the Saints today?
Just their ball movement. They have been absolutely premium with their ball movement. The way they sort of they run in lines, they run in layers. They've just got so much run and carry. But when they've got ball in hand, their ball use is just tore them apart.
Sublime.
Absolutely tore them apart by foot.
They just know where to run with
They
each other.
do, don't they? They just back each other.
Yep.
They've got such a good system, and they're well structured.
Off the KFC Twitter, Sam Hosking, foot to the sword, must be a blunt sword, Damien McMahon. That has made my day.
He put himself off there after dropping the
bomb. That's right. He's a Paddy Dowling.
He tried.
It is now known as a Paddy Dowling when you swear on K-Rock.
I've done well, so I've had a few games, and I think there's been 3.
Must be you, Nico. Final quarter underway thanks to Abco Cafe 24/7. Here's JD.
So it goes up not against Sharp, and Benson wrapped up straight away in the middle by Al Hickey. The umpire's going to pay it, I reckon, because, he left him for a long time there.
James Gare was off and running.
I think Al Hickey was going to put a harness on and start riding Harry Benson the way he was going. It was like a jockey. He's got him again. This time
still
Benson
cleared it.
He got it out though. Churgwin tried to leave. Benson comes in and puts the tackle on as well. And that's what the coaches are like. Yeah, that's what you like, don't you?
You do, because he got the clearance right.
And then went and got it.
He did. Offensively, he just
Defensively,
spread from the stoppage. He got the tackle.
Yes, he does everything.
That's brilliant to watch.
He's way too good for this competition. Come on, Harry. You're taking it out of us.
He
Now
is.
Ryan goes back with the footy in the middle of the ground. Can't pick it up. Needs some support. Not stands his ground. Tammy McMahon kicked it off the ground. Now it goes towards Mitchell. Inside the centre square. He goes forward. Birch. Pritchard did beautifully. Had 3 against him and was able to get it out. Over the head, though, of Churgwin. Going to come back through Morrison. Can get it in. They muck around with it a bit at half forward. Can they get it in now? They can. Kelleher inside 50. Sits it on Humphrey's head a bit, though. Falls at the back. Is that a hold? The umpire said yes, it was. And not very happy, Harvey Ryan. He's given away the free kick. And was that to give the ball back? Jack Mentha was playing for the 50. He didn't pick it up as it came back, but he'll have a set shot for goal.
Damien McMahon is that flustered. He wasn't clean, and then he socketed it backwards off the ground.
You're still thinking about the interview?
Yep.
I think so. Foot to the sword as well.
Look, Memphis certainly made the umpire know he was being held.
He did. 40 out. Comes in. Good kick. Good start for St Joey's. So Jack Mentha puts his first on the board. The 8th for St Joey's. 8-4-52. And they trail St Mary's 12-7-79. 2 minutes played. Final term. Atco Cafe 24/7. K-Rock. Final quarter scoreboard.
What I did notice about that ball coming into their forward half then, they actually had numbers, and it was like St Mary's had zoned off them a little bit. Not didn't pay him any respect, but zoned off more than gone man on man, and they were able to get some numbers free.
And one thing there, I know Paddy Kelleher, he did a few balks, but he actually kicked it into the forward line with some purpose and without blazing away. That's what I'm trying to say, Kirsch.
I got you.
Chris Nichols down boundary side this afternoon. He's flustered as well. Sharp and Not. Not goes to go off the ground. Had a fresh
He's got
area
the big
almost.
Marns about him.
Picked up by Antonak. He's dragged down at the edge of the centre circles, and we'll get a ball up, slightly favouring St Mary's.
Webb and Akarachi still exchanging pleasantries.
They might as well just throw caution to the wind, St Joey's, because a loss in round 7, percentage is not going to be an impact really, so you might as well just have a crack. Not grabbed it out of the ruck, had a kick that was smothered. Ryan picked up the loose footy for St Mary's, drives it to half forward. Lang couldn't mark. Rayner off the hands of the pack, knocked away from him. Good defensive play, James Hickey, and it's out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. 3 minutes gone, final quarter. Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Port Phillip Ferries, there's no better way to travel. Port Arlington and Geelong to Docklands with Port Phillip Ferries.
Brand Hates has gone forward too, Kingy.
Boundary throw-in. It's a skew whiff boundary throw-in that favoured Not, but it landed at his bootlaces. Sharp palmed it towards Hickey. Hickey's going to get a free kick as Harry Benson got him high. That's Al Hickey, the skipper of St Joseph's, with it. And he went to kick laterally, I think maybe to his brother, and in the end decided, that's going to get chopped off, so I'm just going to kick it along the line and hit and hope.
And there's a hold for it. So St Joey's play on Webb, gets it towards half forward, so good movement of the football. And there is Heinz, as we said, has been moved forward, 50 out from goal. It'll be a tough kick from there.
Too far for him.
Yep. So he's got Kelleher in the...
We know how skillful he is, but...
Yeah, he's got Webb as well, but they're all going back, so he's going to do maybe a Kirsch long point, which he hates.
Yep.
He comes in now, 50 out, right foot kick gives it everything. He has kicked a long point. In fact, just. And through for one behind. So
He made the distance.
got the distance, okay. So 8-5, 53 St Joey's. St Mary's 12-7, 79, 4 played. Final term at Co Cafe 24-7 K-Rock. Final quarter scoreboard.
It's like Trevelini with the footy in his defensive goal square. Just summing up his options. He now trots off out of that goal square and then sends it up the corridor with a beautiful kick to McMahon. McMahon drop shot what he should have taken because he's still got his foot on the sword.
Yeah, he's not happy.
He swore in the interview, he said foot on the sword, which is a mixed metaphor, and then he drops an absolute sitter of a mark, and it's the first mistake, well actually the third mistake after those couple of interview mistakes that he's made.
So ball up, Not got
He's
it down. Alderton over the top of it. Mullen. Let's go with the football. Not tries to drag it back in. Umpire lets it go. Big pack there. And still trying to get out the pack. The umpire will come in just as Antonak was away. Benson had the tackle on him. So ball up just inside the centre square. St Joey's just into attack. Sharp got it down. Ball back towards Loftus. His handball over the top. Now tapped on by Hickey. Back to Smith off a step. Torpedo punt towards half forward. Humphrey to come out. Does well, does he, Austin? Can he pick it up? He goes with the handball. Ordered on hands and knees as well. Well, high tackle, was it? The umpire said no. Antonak was there. St Mary's go forward, but going across Joey's. They've got the numbers across half-back. They might be able to switch the ball. It was a terrible kick, but they've got some time, and it goes to Kelleher.
Well, Buckley might get it back. Although the kick was poor, he's run forward to provide an option for Kelleher, and he had to wait with Sherman tracking down on him. Got a handball off to the running by Smith. Smith delivers for Mitchell, who stretches and marks. But he's a long way from home. Heinz presents to the pocket. Mitchell decides to go a bit further than that. The kick had too much on it, and it's now the... Akarachi's marked. St Joseph's players are claiming it was touched on the way through, but the umpire has paid the mark to Akarachi in the left back pocket. Called to play on through the outstretched arms of Humphrey. Kicks it high. Sharp is there. Spoil came from behind to put into the path of Alderton. Alderton a handball out wide. Chance now for Kelleher. Kelleher has got a man all alone just inside forward 50. And it's taken by Mullen. Mullen squares it up onto the chest of Heinz, who all of a sudden has become a marking target inside forward 50.
I know I mentioned it before. They are just not manning up in the forward half. Whether that it's not paying any respect. They probably think the game's done and dusted, but they're actually getting exposed by not manning up.
Well, this is to make the margin 20 points.
That's
correct.
Right. That's right.
Now, we know he's got the leg in him, Heinz. He'd have to start at left goal post. He's pulled it back not badly. It's going to come off the hands of the pack, though. Or is Henderson Birch is claiming the mark. He's had a discussion with the umpire, and it's over the line. and it'll be a rush behind for St Joseph's, and the margin is 25. They're 8-6-54. St Mary's 12-7-79 final quarter, thanks to Epco Cafe 24/7.
Quick kick in towards Churgwin, can't take the mark. Benson left it behind as well. Pritchard wrapped up by Humphrey, got the handball back to Benson, got his hands free. Churgwin got it out towards centre wing, coming at it. Peck Alderton goes the other way, leaves the footy behind. Churgwin's got it, tried to get rid of it, he dropped it. The umpire said play on. There's a bit of pressure on there. Alderton, who's had a good start to the final term, he just holds it up. Big pack around at the umpire. Please come in. It's a rugby scrum, and it'll be a ball up on centre wing.
He does like letting it go, this umpire.
7.5 minutes played. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. Benson comes to the bench. Well, Sharp gave not one in the ruck contest, and then Orgarinos got one for his trouble after that free kick was paid. Sharp just tapped, not on the head, just to say, sorry, mate, didn't mean it. Incidental contact, but it's a free kick. Not kicks along the line. Orgarinos, who got forward of the footy and takes the mark. You can go to his skipper, Blood, with a handball next to the boundary line. Instead turns and swings a kick long inside 50. Lang with a run at the footy, can't find it. Dowling at ground level had it knocked away from his grasp. Loftus comes in for St Mary's. The kick of Harry Smith out of the pack was partially smothered. Now he tries to barge the ball forward. He's wrapped up in a tackle going nowhere, about 25 metres out from the St Mary's goal. One more would put this one to bed if it's not already.
So Churgwin doing the ruck work against Sharp. Sharp got it down. Antonak wrapped up straight away. He's not going anywhere. Umpire will come in, ball it up again. 30 out from St Mary's goal.
Leopold Sporty's player of the day for Nico for $100 vouchers. Going to be an interesting call.
Is. And
got it sorted.
That's good. Ball. Let's not hope it's foot to the sword again. Ball over the back. Now Smith taps it on. Dangerous. Mentha lost the football. Smith wrapped up. Umpire, what is it? Umpire says held to him. Could have been pushing the back, high tackle, throwing the ball. Who knows? And it was a ball up. So it's 20 out from goal. Ball up. Sharp tried to get it down to Antonak. He's wrapped up straight away by Blood, and this time it's over the shoulder. So free kick to Antonak in the last line of defence for St Joey's.
They need everything to go right. I know it's only 9 minutes into the final term, but they've got to kick 5 goals, really. He goes back to Hickey James, and then a handball back to Antonak. Under pressure, gave it to Humphrey. Angus Humphrey outside of the right boot. Landed with Mentha. Didn't go 15, though. Shergan with a great tackle. He can't get it out, Mentha, and it'll be a ball up in the right back pocket for St Joseph's. So St Mary's providing no exits there for St Joseph's to find a path out of defensive 50. It really has been their game. They've kicked 9 goals or 10 goals to 3 since the kick out of the pack, and Dowling's just plucked it with one hand. Might have been Sharp just throwing it on the boot, and Dowling is an absolute talisman. There's nothing he can't do, and he just put the hand across, plucked it in, and this you would think would be bread and butter for he if he started right goal post, just fade it back off the left boot, and that will give them a better than 5-goal advantage. But it was a run of goals. Saw St Joseph's held goalless in the second quarter that has St Mary's on top and about to put this one to bed. Dowling on the left boot, and he'll sneak it in at the left-hand goal post. Paddy Dowling with his second of the afternoon. Takes him to 30 for the season. And the margin is back to 31. St Mary's 13-7-91. St Joseph's 8-6-54 in this final quarter of K-Rock football, thanks to AFCO Cafe 24/7. We've got you.
Bit of luck out of that little stoppage. But right place, right time. Absolutely. But, you know, it was probably the play before that where they put themselves under pressure by transferring pressure from one to the other by hand, and then, you know, it should have just been a long kick down the line. So
then reset.
Yeah, exactly right.
So back to the middle, 31 the difference, 11 played final term. Knott and Sharp both go up, they neither get a hand to it. Ball spills free, Alderton tries to take it out of the contest. The umpire will come in and we'll have a secondary bounce.
Be vocal, the runner.
Yes.
Very vocal. Very vocal.
Ball up, Knott, big thump away, past Churgwin. Back across Hickey. Can run free handball up towards Knott again, who followed it up. His kick was smothered, went back 30 metres. Now Humphrey, he can't take it. Alderton can't either. Right on the cricket pitch area. Humphrey got it out. Al Hickey gives it to Alderton, full to the ball. Just inside the centre square, goes towards the pocket. Does it sit okay? Kick around the corner by Mitchell. Has missed and through for one behind. 1 goal, 1 his tally this afternoon. 8-7-55 now St Joey's. They trail St Mary's 13-7-85. APCO Cafe 24/7. K-Rock final quarter scoreboard.
Jesse Travellini will wait for the ball coming back from the crowd.
Just missed that connection then, Kirsch. That kick then, first quarter it was hitting. Just needed to hit it in the last there, St Joseph's.
Travellini with it in his defensive goal square. Assesses his options, and Joey's have been given time to be able to set up defensively. You'll bring it towards left half back in a marking contest. Spoil came from Webb off the front of the pack. Blood got away from Webb. No, he didn't. He slung in the tackle. Handball into the path of Loftus, who tried to knock it to his own advantage. Cole just fires a handball into space. James Hickey under pressure, lost it in the tackle of Rayner. Callagher dribbled it like a basketball to himself, but ran out of room. And we'll get a boundary throw in. That should have been really holding the ball against James Hickey. Umpire blindsided. As once again, it's busier than Burke Street at the interchange gates, which are right in front of our best seats in the house for APCO Cafe 24/7. Knott and Sharp, as they have done all afternoon. They've both been warriors for their respective teams. Sharp for St Joseph's winning the tackle. Alden and the roving to Hickey, who bursts away from the contest. That's our driving long kick inside 50. No mark taken. Front of the pack. Big tackle laid by Mitchell, dragging the St Mary's player to ground. And we'll get a ball up. It was Jasker who was brought to the deck, and about 25 out, make it 30 from the St Joseph's goal. We'll get a ball up.
Big pack around it. And blood rule. Who is it? Nick Knott, who is dressed up like the mummy already. If he comes off, he's got right leg strapped, left leg strapped, hand strapped, and now he'll have
his mouth strapped.
The nose strapped. And he has well and truly used the trainers this afternoon.
He's $80 a year's a fees worth.
So ball up. About 30 out from goal. Alderton tried to break the tackle and then dropped the football. Loftus looks for some support. Handball though went to the opposition. Webb wrapped up, not going anywhere. The umpire, he's going to ping him here.
He's not, is he?
He's going to ping him. Did he have prior opportunity?
No prior opportunity.
Gee whiz. It's a bit tough on Luke Webb.
Do you reckon the St Mary's fans don't enjoy that?
I was going to say they would too.
They would too, yeah.
Free kick
Right where it is.
And St Mary's going to be able to get out of the back pocket. The handball
They were loving it.
comes away over the top towards McMullen. We haven't called a lot of today,
He
have we?
hasn't had many touches at all.
No. And he's taken the mark inside defensive 50, Trent McMullen.
Like Paddy Callagher for Wombat Gully Plant Farm doing the job on Paddy Dowling. Kick to the wing, goes through the hands of Lang. Well done by Buckley, works Cole off the footy. Wonderful smothered Benson, ball to the boundary line. And still in the field of play. Benson tried the don't argue on Alderton. Then got a handball back that missed Peck. Humphrey there for St Joseph's. Ball to the boundary line as Humphrey fights for it. Now it's out of bounds. Webb is there. Bit of a push and shove. Callagher comes across. They help their teammate in Humphrey to his feet. That's Angus Humphrey with the M&M style haircut. Got the sort of the Caribbean gold has been rinsed through the hair, Ben Casanelli style. And we'll get a boundary throw in. Here's Sharp doing the ruck work, won the tap at Augurinos, got a handball up to Benson, who got to his feet like a cat, was outstanding, and then gave it to Peck, who barrelled it forward.
Could have been a hold there for Cole. Handball over the top to Rayner at half forward, gets it inside, Dowling in front. And just got Jolo Dwyer just lost him for a moment. He only needed one step, Paddy Dowling. He got back in front, and it was a great kick from Caden Rayner.
Well, Dwyer thought Rayner was going to kick long, have a shot at goal, but lowered his eyes and just hit the easy one.
Rayner is one of the best kicks in the competition.
So he's hit Paddy Dowling 25 out directly in front. And this for his third of the afternoon. He comes in now, left foot kick, and he has hit the post right
real casual.
on the top. Very casual. Very Todd Marshall style from yesterday. 2 goals, 1, Paddy Dowling. 13-8-86 St Mary's, and Joey's 8-7-55. APCO Cafe 24/7 K-Rock final quarter scoreboard.
Gus Humphrey decides just to go straight up the middle. Mitchell with a big fly. There's going to be a free kick for a hold in the marking contest going to St Joseph's, and it is going... Well, no, going the other way. Sorry, going to St Mary's. I apologise to McMullen.
Wrong way, though.
Against Austin Humphrey. And then the kick inside 50 to an unmarked Cole. There's kick 2 this afternoon. 3 would be a good reward.
Kingy,
For Harry Cole?
that decision just then, the players didn't even know what the free kick was for.
Sometimes when they keep playing, you just maybe not blow the whistle and the players just keep playing and they don't have time to argue if you don't pay something. Harry Cole, man on the mark, about 45 from goal. He'll kick from 49. He sets it up to the right. It won't have the carry. It's off the hands of the pack to the front of the pack. Oh, Dowling taken high. He should get a free kick in the right forward pocket, and that will suit the left boot of Paddy Dowling and a chance to make good on his miss only moments ago. He'll do something spectacular, you'd think, out on the J curve potentially, as Chris Nichols is just having his own private conversation with Zach Sherman. And Paddy Dowling, he's going to set himself to come out on that J curve. And he's got 2 this afternoon for 30 on the season. Very much in contention for the leading goal kicker award. He snaps, and despite hitting it pretty high, he has gold. And that will be all she wrote for this afternoon. The margin is 37. And the old pendulum,
It's close.
is not far away.
Close.
13.886 St Mary's, St Joseph's 8.755. The pendulum was set at 42.
42.6.
And the margin is 37. So another goal, and it's bang on basically if St Mary's were to win by 43 points. They're 14.892. St Joseph's 8.755. 17 and 3/4 minutes gone on the Port Phillip Ferry time clock in this final quarter of K-Rock football.
And as discussed in the pre-game, St Mary's average of keeping the opposition to a score is 55. They're currently on 50. Snake.
Back there like a king.
Snake.
With his throw rug.
Yeah, with his throw rug.
It's throw rug weather, don't worry about that.
He needs it from the middle. Benson got it away to Orgarinos. He goes to Blood. We've mentioned those three today pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the ball on the outside. Ryan's taken the mark, just forward of centre wing. As the drive it long, goes towards the pocket. Long leads going. Oh, third in line if you don't mind. And that was a great mark, Paul Peck. Back to the glory days.
Oh, he took some marks, Eddie. Don't worry about that.
He did. Lockie Peck, great mark. And he will have a set shot for goal from about 30 out.
You would have played on Paul Peck, wouldn't you?
I played, in the same era. Kicked one from here earlier, didn't he? Similar spot.
Yeah. So he's kicked that goal. He's this for number 2, the 15th for St Mary's. He comes in 30 out, right foot kick.
Likes it.
And he likes that spot on the ground. He probably does it at training a few times. And he has put his second on the board this afternoon. Lockie Peck, 15 for the home side, 15.898. They lead St Joey's 8.755. APCO Cafe 24/7 K-Rock. Final quarter scoreboard.
Jared Garner and Riley Hall coming through the reserves next week.
I'll be very ring guns. You got to come in the twos, mate. Jeez, yeah. Jeez. Well,
Do the right thing.
the McMahon's had to.
You make a very good point, Jason.
Imagine the twos of those two with it.
The 12 o'clock game would
The
be
12
pretty...
o'clock game would be pretty good.
I don't know who they play next week, but you
West.
want to be West twos, I reckon.
And it's actually the 4
4
o'clock.
o'clock game.
We're back in the middle because we're a 1:10 bounce next Sunday,
that's
and
right.
the reserves are going to play at 4, and they'll finish under lights at around your sort of 6:15 arrangement.
Good luck to the 4 o'clockers next week.
Secondary ball up. Sharp winning the tap down against Peck. Gow couldn't escape the clutches of Orgarinos. Then he went and found the footy, got a handball release to Al Hickey. Kick smothered by Orgarinos. Spills back towards Hickey, then Gow. Handball release, Gow driving it long. Jasker back with the flight best position. Oh, worked off it by Mitchell, and Mitchell dribbles an easy goal. He just worked him under the footy. I'm not sure whether Jasker might have hurt himself in that contest. Might have just grabbing at a neck. I hope he's okay. But Cal Mitchell with the goal kicks his second of the afternoon in game number 50 for him. He's got 6 for the season. And St Joseph's have kicked their 9th for the afternoon. It's 15.898, playing 9.761. We've ticked into time on in this final quarter, thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7.
James Gow was huge. Still battling his heart out in there. The stoppages. Doesn't give up.
They've missed Heinz in there, though, haven't they?
Oh, yeah.
Since he got injured.
Yep.
And had to put him forward.
Yep.
And they throw in Ferguson, Adams not being out there this afternoon, but St Mary's have got their own stars missing as well.
Correct.
So up, not against a Grandy. Umpire's found a hold.
He's done that 5 times today.
He has, and he's found Harry Benson. He must have been the one who gave him all the votes last year. Benson
That's what it was.
runs away, goes with the right. Oh, crappy kick, really, off the side of the boot. Goes towards 50, comes back towards Lang, who got around a couple. Handball on the outside, and can't keep it in. I think that might have been McMahon, was it? And the umpire will come in and throw it in. 55 around from the St Mary's goal.
Got a cracker in Launceston. Hawthorn 63 lead Brisbane 62 by a point at half-time. And 130 to 67 goal GWS leading West Coast in the final term at Giant Stadium. Clearing kick from the pack might have come from Callagher. Socket off the ground by Travellini to his own advantage. It's going to land with Sherman. Try to get a handball back to Travellini. Then put a handball up the chimney. Cole. Churgwin back to Sherman. Sherman from the 50. This hit the kick rolling ball. It's going to land in the arms of Augurinos.
7 of them.
Augurinos, little handball up to Harry McMahon. Harry McMahon's kick to his brother Damien. He got a shove. I think the umpire's going to say from Mentha, and it'll be a free kick. And Damien McMahon can go short to Augurinos if he so chooses, although he might go Jeremy Cameron style and launch a torp, and there's a bit going on off the footy. What's happening? There's a discussion taking place. Umpire talking to Nick Knott, who's between the right-hand goal and behind post. It is to do with the blood rule with his schnoz, and he'll come from the ground again. And maybe, just maybe, they can put Nick Knott into
cotton wool.
Cotton wool for the
and literally,
Yes,
I think that was pointed out by a St Joseph's player.
Bring on the midi sub.
Well, they're not going like for like because Knott's coming off and Rain is going on. So unless Keaton Rain is all of a sudden grown a foot, Paul Peck, Lockie Peck.
We've all done it.
Yes.
I've made you do that.
I'd love McMahon to go with the torp.
Yeah, torp it up.
He'll swing out to the right, try and get some extra distance. Starts at left, just can't work it back enough. And it's through for a minor score, and the margin is 38 points. 15-9.99, St Joseph's 9-7-61. St Mary's with a handy buffer and about to go unbeaten for 26 consecutive games. It's a stunning run that started back in round 15, 2019.
Big torp. There's a torp from Buckley. Goes right to the middle of the ground. Beautiful. Free kick over the shoulder. Umpire, hold. He likes that one. It's the,
It's his fave.
Free kick of the week, I think, for umpire Jones. The hold. Mitchell, short little kick to Henderson Birch. Gets it with the left foot, kick out wide. Coming at it was Benson. Now De Grande off a step, inside 50, Connors. Tracks it back. Alderton gave a high tackle, gave one way. Will be a free kick. That was there. And St Mary's will relieve the pressure. Across defensive 50. Ling will get it out. Well, he's going to get it out. He goes short and lateral. And now Travellini will try and get St Mary's out.
Happy just to hold on to the footy. Time coming off the clock. They're not too far away from another victory and starting this season 7-0 and staying a game clear on top of the GFL ladder. Here's McMahon again. Damien McMahon has been outstanding, and he can't be too far away from the Leopold Sporties Award that Chris Nichols will adjudge. He drives a wonderful kick to McMullen. McMullen can share it by hand with Loftus. Will Loftus tuck it under the arm? He will. He'll get a shepherd from Lang. He steps around Buckley and then drives a kick inside forward 50. Peck comes up, can't complete the mark off his chest. Dowling at the front of the pack, left the footy behind. St Joseph's with numbers. James Hickey gives it to Ben Clark. Clark, a neat little kick to centre half back to Mentha. But just something happens when Loftus gets involved.
Mentha goes short. Heinz couldn't pick it up on the half volley. Neither could Augurinos. Now McMullen can. Just chips the ball in between three St Joey's players. Found Rayner. Goes from centre half forward. Lean on. Great kick to Dowling. And that is that's premiership football, St Mary's.
The difference. This is the difference. Mentha streaming through the corridor into centre half forward and kicks it to Heinz's feet. They rebound and 2 possessions hit targets like the way they did. That's the difference. Talent v talent.
So Dowling, who's kicked 3-1 this afternoon, will shoot for goal from just inside 50. And that very laconic left foot kick of his. The goal umpire has to work a couple of steps to his right. And
he's missed.
For one behind.
It's actually hit the post.
It's hit the post.
It's hit the fat bit.
Hit the fat bit. 3 goals, 2. Paddy Dowling. 15-10, 100 raised the bat, St Mary's. So Joey's 9-7-61, 25 and a half played. Final term at Co Cafe 24/7 K-Rock final quarter scoreboard.
Of his 3-2, Paddy Dowling's 2-2 of that in this last quarter.
Yeah, before this last quarter, he was pretty much not involved in the game.
Yeah, it's off the hands of the pack as the long kicking came in, and Mentha as a kick that bounced through the arms of McMullen. Palmed down by Heinz to Mitchell. Great tackle, Ling, holding the ball. Mitchell freed the arms to try and get a handball away, but Ling was outstanding with a tackle. His kick is well weighted to Blood, just forward to the centre circles, who marks. Now he kicks to the pocket. Dowling or Harry McMahon. Dowling with one hand. It fell for Harry McMahon. He pulls the kick back looking for Sherwin. Oh, flying spectacularly through is Gow. Sherwin is down for St John of God. St Joseph's with the numbers. And one of those is Ben Clark, who's got it in the right back pocket. Handball off to Buckley. Steps inside the man wanting to dive across his boot. Might have been Rayner. Now the kick to half back for Mullen, who's marked on the juggle. That was Harry Cole diving across his boot. Now Mullen drives a kick towards half forward for Heinz. Couldn't mark. Webb tried to take it off the back of the pack. Akarachi knocked it away. Boundary throw in. And Luke Webb is the villain wherever you go. And now it's on between Akarachi and Webb. And which way is a free kick being paid? Which way is it going? Akarachi and Webb come together. And they're patting Luke Webb on the head.
I don't like that.
Oh, wow, that is taunting. And now the free kick being paid and Pritchard takes off with it. And although the umpire says it's coming back behind the mark. Even
now
the
the umpire called play on.
Yes, and Akarachi with the resultant free kick. But yeah, in the NFL, if you were to do that to a player, you would be fined.
Oh, that's one of the worst things I see in football.
So they're at right half back. Harry Ling chips it over the top. Harvey Ryan had to sit and wait for it. Hickey overshot. Ryan turns, kicks inside defensive 50. That's a great mark taken by Angus Humphrey. A Hamlin hanger contender going back with the flight with a rampaging Dowling coming towards him.
So Humphrey, lateral kick back to Morrison in the goal square. Chirkwin stands the mark, right on 10. Sharp calls for it. He goes in that direction. Akarachi there. Loftus as well over the back, third in line. He's had a good debut. Now he chips the ball inside 50. Good kick. And that was, well, in the end, way too easy because the kick was amazing again. And Max Orgarinos has taken the mark and will shoot for goal from 45 out directly in front.
If we had a Rising Star nomination each week, Kane Loftus, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Why don't we have that? We have a Rookie of the Year. Why don't we have a Rising Star nomination?
Make one up.
Yeah.
Let's just make one up each week ourselves.
Right, well, he wins it this week.
Okay, well done. Congratulations.
K-Rock Rising Star.
He's got it.
Correct.
He's got it. Great idea, Kingy.
Orgarinos comes in, 45 out, right foot kick, missed it. And shuffle to the left-hand side, through for one behind, 15-11, 101 now. St Mary's, St Joey's 9-7-61, APCO Cafe 24-7, K-Rock. Final quarter scoreboard.
Can't be long left as we've gone nearly 29 minutes on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. James Hickey will take off from his defensive goal square with a bounce and then just a short kick that he's put straight onto the chest of Harry Cole. You think he must have missed the kick. Cole comes laterally. Damien McMahon juggling a mark. Man on the mark, 45 from goal. He's been called to play on, so now off a step, sends it on its way, and he's going to kick the goal, Damien McMahon, and that might have just won him the Leopold Sporties voucher for best on ground. He's had a great afternoon. Chris Nichols is unmoved down boundary side. He's shaking his head. He's saying, no, you've got it wrong, Kingy. I've got another one in mind. As McMahon kicks his first of the afternoon.
Yes.
And the margin is out to 46 points, and it's beyond the pendulum. The pendulum has swung too far. 16-11, 107. St Joseph's 9-7-61.
I'd have to round up on the pendulum, 42.6 to 43. And we're currently sitting at, at 46.
I picked Kadesh's pendulum too. So.
You did. You're the closest.
Yes, that's right.
Now back to the middle, Sharp. Tries to take it out of the ruck. Goes towards Blood. Alderton hasn't stopped trying all day. Handball. No, a kick in the end. Got free. And up the chimney. In the middle. Oh, Pritchard couldn't quite take it. Mullen's handball to Gow from the middle. Right foot kick. Open. Getting back there. Well, it's going to end up being a good kick because it's been made look very nice by Cal Mitchell.
Jack Blood just hobbling towards you, Rock Dog. St John of God.
It's a crampish type run.
I think cramp from so many kicks. Cal Mitchell.
Touches, yeah. Leather poisoning.
Yes.
Give him the 3 votes.
So Cal Mitchell's got it. He has kicked 2 goals, 1. And as the siren sounds, so this will finish it off. This might get us back closer to the pendulum if he kicks it.
It might.
Comes in now, right foot kick, and he has kicked it. So Cal Mitchell has kicked his 3rd of the afternoon. And the 10th for St Joey's, they finish at 10-7-67. But they've been defeated St Mary's 16-11, 107.
An anticlimactic finish in the end of the game that sees St Mary's go to 7-0 and they're unbeaten